2019 Anzac Eve clash between Wilston, Grange and Sandagate. It is our great pleasure to host this event this year, which is of course on the 104th anniversary of the landing at Gallipoli. I would now ask that you all please be upstanding and remove your hats as we commence the ceremony with the Ode to the Fallen, which will be followed by the Last Post, 1 minute silence, the Rouse, then the Australian National Anthem, sung by Natalie Campbell.
They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. But the going down of the sun, and in the morning we will remember them.
Welcome to round 4 of the QAFL competition. It's the marquee matchup of the home and away season. Anzac Eve on a perfect Wednesday night from Hickey Park. We join you for what will be a very crucial clash for two up-and-coming clubs in our great competition. Hello, I'm Riley Starray. With me tonight is Adrian O'Reilly, and Adrian, it is the Wilston Grange Gorillas up against the Sandagate Hawks. We are in for a beauty.
Oh, Raz, very, very excited for tonight, and haven't they turned out tonight? Isn't Hickey Park looking an absolute treat for football tonight?
It certainly is, of course. 5 days ago, it was the complete opposite. It was a deluge. It was like we were going down the Brisbane River. Torrential rain, particularly in the last quarter of that one. But the ground has certainly come up an absolute treat this evening, and we are going to be in for a magnificent contest. Speaking of last week, Wilston Grange have only made the one change to the lineup that defeated the Western Magpies by 45 points on Good Friday. Daniel Farry, after a lengthy knee injury recovery, he comes into the lineup tonight, whilst Jake Gore has been omitted. Whilst for the Sandagate Hawks, they have had a 2-week rest. They will certainly be raring to go. They've made 4 changes in James Nellis, Brandon Batchelor, Michael Hagan, who all play for Aspley in the Neefle, and Blake Hartley. And coming out of the side for them tonight, all omitted, is Casey Barber, Jared Bond, Sam Lubke, who is actually injured, and Jaden Battaglen, who is unavailable.
Yeah, look, it's going to be really, really interesting. 2 totally different approaches to tonight's game. As you said, Wilston Grange, fantastic win over the Western Magpies just 5 days ago. But coming off a 5-day break, whereas Sandgate, they've had the week off, time to freshen up. 4 Neefle players coming back in. You know, what's going to go better tonight? Is it going to be the confidence factor in a 5-day break, or is it going to be the rest?
Well, you mentioned that rest, of course, and of course a 5-day break. That was a pretty bruising encounter 5 days ago, despite the margin as that went along. It was a very willing contest. It's the best the Gorillas have probably played in a year and a half, but if you read the match preview this evening, Barry O'Brien says it means absolutely nothing if they cannot get up tonight. They are starting heavy favourites. So we're just looking out here. Umpires have tried to call captains into the middle. It doesn't appear that has happened at this stage. Of course, one surprise for me, we did see Dylan Reid. He went off in the second half of that game on Friday afternoon and looked like he had some sort of symptoms of a head injury or a body knock. Maybe it was precautionary. He is playing tonight, so that'll be a big boost for the Gorillas.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's, you know, again, as you said, if that was a head injury, obviously it's not. Look, they're going to take every precaution possible. So obviously it wasn't a head injury, but off a 5-day break, let's hope he's fit. Let's hope he's right to go.
He certainly was very influential in that first half, where really for Wilston Grange, that game was won. The second half was sort of meandered on a bit, but they played some electrifying football against a side who is known for playing some electrifying football. They ran them off the park. Whilst we have a look at Sandgate, the result was a little bit deceptive for them. They went down 76 points to the Palm Beach Currumbin Lions at their home ground. However, that first half of that game was very competitive. They probably should have been ahead at quarter time by 3 to 4 goals, according to their coach. And I tell you what, I think this might be a little bit of a different Sandgate outfit this evening and this season compared to season 2018 and seasons past.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're coming up against the defending premiers. You've got to play 4 quarters of football. 2 quarters of football aren't going to matter. It doesn't matter how great you play in the first half. If you can't close out that second half, you're going to get taken away. So, you know, they can gain some confidence out of what they did in the first half, but they're going to really want to come here tonight and play 4 quarters of footy. Otherwise, we saw what Wilston Grange did last week. It could end up the same way.
So we have discussed, obviously, a little bit in terms of these two sides. If you have a look at Sandgate, of course, they are one of the smaller teams in this QAFL competition. They are known for their leg speed and their excitement. It's a very young group. Of course, in round 2, Lachlan Harrop, who kicked 3 goals against that Palm Beach Currumbin lineup, he was nominated for the Rising Star. So he's going to be a pretty key tonight to their outcome overall. But looking at them, what else is going to matter for this Sandgate outfit to try and get the victory this evening?
Look, I really like Jordan Maynard. Had a close eye on him last year. I think he's a fantastic player. The other one I really like is James Taglieri. I think those two, as you said, they're a smaller side. They're built for speed. They're built for run. Whereas we talked about last week, Wilston Grange have gotten a lot bigger this year. I think they're more of a bulky side. I think they're more of a marking team. So, you know, if Sandgate can keep that ground ball going, keep that play on, you know, they might be able to run them off their legs. But again, if it's kicked to a pack, I think that the only chance they've got is get their front and centres right, get their rovers right.
Now, of course, both teams tonight, before we get your tip, Adrian, they are wearing special edition Guernseys, I do believe, for both clubs. Some of these will be going on sale after the game. Wilston Grange, they are in their traditional blue and red colours, but a little bit of different emblem on the front. Whilst we have a look at Sandagate, normally in the green and red, they have gone the white and red.
They have gone the white, so... look, I love the addition of these different jerseys for special rounds. I think it's fantastic. And the fact they're going on sale as well to raise money for charity is fantastic.
So we're just about to get underway. Last moments before one of the biggest clashes of this season. Two very important ones for these two clubs, sorry. Who is your final tip tonight, Adrian?
Look, I'm going to stick with the home side. I know they've come off a 5-day break, but after seeing them last week, I think they've really switched on for this year, so I'm going to go Wilston by 3 goals. Well,
I tipped the upset last week, and I'm going to go it as well. I think this rest factor might really play in this second half. Of course, last year, in a corresponding matchup, they had a 5-day break last year, Wilston Grange, when they played Mount Gravatt, and if history tells us anything, they really faded away in that second half after starting off well, but we're about to get underway.
Well, I doubted you last week. I'm gamed it out this week, unfortunately.
It is Wednesday night football, packed house. And then we're going to have a restart ball up. Just before we go into this one, umpires tonight, Matt Belliner, Ollie Pye and Justin Lilcrap. Big occasion for them. So we are underway. Rucks go at it. Bradford takes it out of the ruck straight away. Hand passes it forward about 15 metres. Trying to jump onto that one with the tackle is Haynes, and we'll have a stoppage just forward to centre here for the Hawks. Of course, this 6-6-6 will keep the lines whilst the ball's in the middle relatively traditional per se. Reid wins it down. Corvo tries to feed a hand pass away. Reid is dived on, and they're just trying to let themselves settle it down. We'll have a stoppage just forward to centre. Capacity house tonight here at Hickey Park. It's the most full I've seen it for a Grange game ever, to be truthful with you. It's a magnificent occasion, and there's a bit of expectation around them in hopefully making a return to the finals, as the first forward foray will be for the Hawks. They'll turn around, send it towards full forward. That is a searching kick. No mark taken. Corvo got in the way. Trying to get there is Hartley as well as Nellis. We'll have a stoppage.
We just saw it there from Sandagate. That mark at half forward and that quick play on there, looking to move it really, really quickly.
They have pushed up towards this stoppage, so pretty much every player is in one half of the ground. If they can get it over the back, Wilson, we saw how dangerous they were last week, but that's not going to help. And they'll be over the boundary. Of course, this is the first time we've both seen Sandagate this year. One key omission for their team this year, of course, is McKelligan, who was one of their best players last year, a booming right foot kick.
Oh, look, he was fantastic last year, especially that game we commentated in against the Western Magpies. He was unbelievable.
So we'll have the throw-in. No major tactical surprises early. Bradford wins it down. Just a lot of numbers around this one. It's being fished around. McGarnis was at the way at the back but didn't get the football. It comes towards the middle of the ground. Big attack from both players. Sandagate can go forward again. That's a good kick. And it's a good mark as well in towards the forward 50. And the first shot of the game will be for the Hawks. And it will be through James Nellis, who last week was playing Neefel for Asprey.
Yeah, good kick inside. Didn't spear it at him, just popped it out in front of him. And nice, strong hands out front. Looks like he's got the gloves on too tonight.
Travis Cloak-esque. So Nellis for the first goal of the game. Sets it from 45 out. It is there. And that is a massive start for the Hawks. They needed to get the first couple. They've got the first one. Try and silence this home crowd. Of course, they do have a lot of support here tonight. 1 straight 6 to no score. We've played about 2.5 minutes opening term. Adrian O'Reilly.
Geez, they've got around him too after that. Look, pardon me. Beautiful kick from 50 metres out. They're just going on that quick play. Off that clearance, shot straight across half back, and then beautiful kick inside to the opposite pocket. And nice finish. Good start from Sandagate.
So I'm just having a look on our broadcast wing. It looks like Luca Mason has started the game there tonight. He is lined up against Braden Harding. That will be a key matchup to watch. Of course, Mason, he was very good last week for the Grange. It was very much a team performance for them. So I want to continue that as back in the middle. Reid couldn't win the tap down. Bradford being prominent early. He's an absolute beanstalk. We'll have a stoppage.
Now, one thing I will say is Sandagate got that first centre clearance of the night. That is one area that Wilston absolutely killed Sherwood in last week.
So there's a free kick. It's going the way of Reid. He'll hand pass it off quickly. They'll go forward. Mason, he's taken the mark. He's got an option pushing short for him, but he won't go there. Instead, he'll retreat further back. And he'll go to Lipscomb. Now, Lipscomb has got to Garnis way out on the outer side if he wants him. Instead, he goes short to McKee, who played a very good game as well. He was one of their best. Back to Lipscomb. He'll go towards half forward. That's a beautiful spoil.
Yeah.
I think Sandagate are on this evening. There was sensational work there from Loki Haynes.
Just read that really well, Haynes. Just sat back off his player, looked where the kick was going, and then just charged forward at it.
So overthrowing a lot of numbers around this contest, but still a little bit of space on both sides if either side can get a clearance. It went over the back. Thompson couldn't quite get it off the deck. It's socket forward about 15 to 20 metres. Getting tackled straight away there was Farry, who is back into the lineup this evening. Goes back to McKee, feeds a hand pass further back. Socket forward, but Bradford, who's already proving a presence.
Dangerous.
Dangerous kick, but a good kick too. It was a very good kick. And Taglieri, the man you mentioned in the pre-game, he's taken the mark. He'll look to play on straight away. He gets past Lipscomb. He runs about 15 metres. We'll send it towards half forward, and that's not the greatest of kicks. It wasn't a very intelligent kick when there was no one there, and the mark has been taken by Gore. It was a steady presence at half-back last week for the Grange.
Yeah, look, their whole back line was fantastic last week, Grange.
Corvo, probably one of the most recognisable Gorillas. He's been such a force for them last year in what was pretty trying circumstances.
I'll tell you what, that man that just got rid of the footy of Garnis, he was fantastic last week.
Garnis went to Bloss, back to Corvo, was pushed hard. Now he can look to go towards half forward. They've got space on the outer side in front of the faithful. About 75 metres out. McKee is screaming for it long. I think that's where it's going to go. He'll fly up, couldn't take the mark. The Hawks will try and just hold this up. They've got numbers on this outer side. If they on this broadcast wing, if they can get it. Instead, they go pretty much back to where it came. They've shown good composure, and it'll come out, and the mark is taken from Harding. This has been a good start for Sandagate. A lot of times last year they looked pretty shaky, but they look pretty settled at the moment.
Yeah, look, they held up all right down there, the back line. So, you know, it is early. Wilston did bring a lot of pressure as the game went on last week, so we'll see how they cope.
Smart got it away, gets it to Thompson, who has a shot from 50, and it's out on the fall.
Yeah.
Now, of course, as we mentioned, perfect conditions this evening. We're very thankful for it, of course, after the deluge we experienced last week.
I don't know what you're talking about. It was beautiful last week.
Who do you think that's going to favour tonight, these drier conditions? I'll get back to you in a moment because that was a very dangerous kick in. Sometimes the risk you can take with a young team, but it could work. It's going to be a foot race. First there will be a Garnis. He's got Gore trying to shepherd. He's fallen over. The Cardinal said, he's very lucky. That was a free kick. He's well paid. Garnis will take it, but a little bit clumsy there from Sandagate, and he goes in the middle towards Thompson.
Yeah, no, going back on what you were saying, look, the dry conditions tonight, honestly, I think it's a split draw. It suits both teams' game plans. Look, I think Wilston Grange are going to be more comfortable in the air, but on the ground with clean hands is going to be Sandagate. So, yeah, 50-50.
So they've gone the outside. It's going to be pretty much coming right back in. It goes towards full forward, one-on-one contest. Almost a mark at the back. And it's stared up. It's basically gone backwards off the kick. It's still bouncing around. That's a snap.
Smother.
Nothing there done from Warren. He is such a goal skeek. Gribble will just send it up in the air. And it's just spoiled away. A little bit scrappy, but at least they're keeping it in here, the Gorillas. It's still play on. It's a snap inside from Lipscomb. Big contest coming up. That is a sensational mark.
That is fantastic defence from Sandagate. Just desperation.
And that has been taken by Crawley. And he'll send it towards half-back. One-on-one contest. Gets over the back. Bradford couldn't quite take it. Just sitting around, they'll just go towards the middle.
They look a little bit more composed, Sandagate.
They do early. Of course, it's as much a big occasion for them as it is for the Grange. Of course, these sides are very bitter North Brisbane rivals. Garnis, he couldn't quite get it away. Hand passed inside, and now they do have some options going forward.
Here.
O'Halloran sends it forward. 2-on-2 contest goes over the back. This could be their second. This will be their second. And that is Taglieri. He's got number 2, and the Hawks have come to play. Adrian O'Reilly.
Look, it wasn't pretty, but they went the length of the ground for that goal, and it doesn't matter how they come about, you take them.
So it's 2 straight 12 to the Gorillas yet to score. I think their problem at the moment. They're not getting quite enough of the football. They had it in there for a couple of minutes. It was sort of bouncing around, but it hasn't been any clean ball at all at the moment for Wilston Grange. It's been fantastic pressure from this Sandagate. Can they keep it up? That's the ultimate question, but at the moment it's looking good.
That's the thing. It was fantastic pressure. Look, you saw them, you know, as soon as they got the footy, the kick was straight up and down. There was smothers, there was tackles, there was always pressure on the man. So, you know, credit to Sandagate, they've started really well.
So back in the middle will be Bradford against Reid. Reid wins it down that time. Really favoured him from the tap. Harding tries to lay the tackle, couldn't quite. First there was Hartley. He hand passed the way. Well done from Heaslip to tap it on. Gribble, he gets past one. He's such a bull of a player. Now it goes to Warren, who will send it towards half forward. Thompson's the target. Couldn't quite take the mark. It falls over the back. Coulter gets tackled straight away. And we'll have it's actually come out. And that's well done from Eaton. He was prominent last week as well. Such a strong presence up forward. Smart hand passes it back. Now it goes to Reid, who just bombs it into the 50. Big one-on-one contest. No mark taken. At the front. This should be a goal. And it is. It's the first goal for the home team. And they are one goal behind 2 straight to 1 straight. Henry Leong, the goal kicker that time.
Just fantastic front and centre there from Leong. You saw the long ball come in. It was a one-on-one deep. Leong just busted his backside to get down there, be front and centre.
He certainly did. Of course, as we did mention last week and earlier in this coverage, Wilston Grange, if they want to make finals, we did talk about the prospect of finals last year. That's the expectations that's been put on them by Coach Barry O'Brien. These are the games you must win.
Oh, definitely, of course. Look, if you look at ladder position last year, you wouldn't think too much of it, but it's this local rivalry. It can really, really give you some confidence.
Big fly at the back, no mark taken. Sorry to cut you off there, AJ. Going in hard there was Cashin Harris. He couldn't get away. Now he picks it up. He's tackled by Corvo. The umpire says, give it to me.
Wilston showing a bit of their defensive pressure now.
One thing I was very impressed with by the Gorillas last week is whenever the Magpies did go forward, they were a bit inaccurate, of course, West, but their scrambling ability was quite magnificent. As it comes out towards Mason, he just hacks it away. About 50 metres, no mark taken there from Milford. It goes over the back. Big 2-on-2 contest coming up. Eaton hand passes it back. Still just bouncing around. And now it'll come out to Thompson towards half forward. Dumped after he kicked, no free kick play on. McKee's hanging around ominously. Warren's just on the outside, but he won't get it. Sandagate have the numbers, and they've got on this broadcast wing. Harding, if it can get there, it doesn't.
I think that was a touch ball there.
It was a touch ball. It was a good tackle laid there from Crawley.
A little bit of physicality starting to creep into the game now.
Wouldn't expect anything less from these two. Bradford won it down indecisively. Warren, well done to Coulter. Goes
clever
forward.
Kick. That's a clever kick on the left.
It was a very clever kick. He had the leading target. It had to be one of those perfect kicks. It was just 20, 25 metres. Just not too far off the ground. And it will be Milford, who of course kicked 3 last week.
And no breeze.
He will be the beneficiary.
No breeze tonight as well. So, look, if it was last week, he'd probably have the breeze right behind him, but no breeze to speak of tonight. So, no, don't aim in the goalpost, dead centre.
So Milford. Sorry, it's not Milford, it's McKee. I've confused 6 and 11. It's McKee. He'll come in. He's kicked it left. One behind. Actually, it's gone out on the full.
Oh.
It looked like it might have went through there for a point.
I thought it was a point. The umpire's got a better view than we do.
Certainly do. Should have backed my instincts there. I thought it was Mitch McKee on first look, but then...
He's a bit of a funny character, Mitch McKee, actually.
Heard you met a couple in the post-game, AJ.
Yeah, had a chat to a few of the boys last week. Mitch McKee, I'll talk about him a little bit later on, but yeah, a bit of a different cat.
It goes towards the back. Gore tries to keep it in. It's right in front of us. You've got the perfect view, ladies and gentlemen. As Nellis is taken out of play there from Smart.
A bit of niggle just starting to creep in.
Interesting to see at quarter time, AJ, what these clearances stats are and how decisive they've been. Stoppage goals, we know how important they are in football. As a free kick for high,
Wilston.
and it will be going the way of Reid. Reed will send it long, about 50 metres. It's a pretty good kick. No mark taken there from Eaton, but he lays the secondary tackle. Still bouncing around, and if that was half a second more, Fraser Eaton was away. He almost rigged that ball out of there.
Just letting it go a little bit, the umpires tonight, which is good.
Back at the stoppage. Give the honours to Bradford that time, trying to take it away is Maynard. He's tackled straight away. McKee, hand pass from Coulter. That was very clever. He's got Thompson. He's going to be approached by two Hawks. Not the greatest of hand passes under pressure. That's a free kick against McKee. A little bit overzealous there with the hand, and might have an injury here. I
think he might just smack across the chops, I think.
Was a little bit overzealous there, Mitch McKee. Kick will come towards the wing position. One-on-one contest. Corvo goes up, spalls over the back. No mark taken from Nellis. Corvo goes after his own ball. Still bouncing around. Oh, well done there from Warren. He's such a nifty mover, but they turn it over eventually. Cash and Harris feigned away there. And he'll come down the line, and the marker's been taken there from Nellis. He'll send it towards half forward. They're about 65 metres out. It's with Fabian. First time we've really looked it in. He'll go off the left foot. That's a good kick. It goes over the back. This could be a third goal if they're not careful here at all. The Grange. It's just bouncing around. They've done okay to scramble once again, and we'll have a stoppage in the forward pocket.
They probably could have done better there, Grange. They had a 2-on-1 down there, so lucky to get away with getting over the line. Now, this is where they were strong last week with the clearances, so can they go again?
We'll soon find out. Reed tried to win it from the back, couldn't quite. It's cleared away from Wilston Grange towards the outer side. It's bouncing around there. It looks like it's smart. Now it goes to Mason. Hand pass over the top. Finds a teammate there in Thompson. Thompson went further forward. There's a free kick. It is going the way of the Grange. That's for a hold. You have the free kick count at the moment, mate.
3-1 Wilston Grange favour at the moment. Free kick count.
Certainly all been there. There's no doubt about that. Mason, who'll go towards the boundary.
It's a decent crowd in that members area.
Absolutely is. That wasn't a decent kick, though. It's turned over. It's one thing I've liked about Sandagate at the moment is the pressure they've put on this ball. They even can make errors that you wouldn't normally see from most football teams. It's a pretty elementary kick as it goes towards half forward. Mason's there about, so is Warren.
There's a real element of desperation about Sandagate tonight. They really want to prove something.
They could almost be treating it like their early season grand final, of course. Not many expect them to make finals this year. It's very much a development year for them with this young squad. They've certainly come here expecting to make an impression. It's not too many times anyone gets to play in prime time. Of course, the whole world of the quaffle will be watching this evening.
Let's see if you're going to do some damage, do it on camera.
Hope you're enjoying it so far, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching. Particularly those servicemen and women past and present. In this Anzac Eve clash, as it's cleared forward towards the wing position. There's not much really there. It goes over the boundary. Eaton tried to lay the tackle. He lays a secondary. And it'll be a throw-in. It's a very heavy crowd, as we have mentioned quite a number of times this evening. Haven't seen the hill that packed in a long time, Adrian.
No, we were over there last week. The hill was pretty empty, but I think that was due to some unfortunate weather.
Reed won the tap down. He's just bouncing around forward. Now it'll go. Duck inside McKee. Feeds a good hand pass. It goes towards Coulter, who send it towards goal. Well done here from Sandagate to scramble. And the mark has been taken from Crawley, who's got an option on this broadcast wing. That is Bloss, who will send it towards a 1-on-2. Corvo's pushed out of it. Well done there from Nellis to at least force the decision. Gore got there first, though, goes inside. They've done well to at least repel, and now they'll be coming back in some earnest. Mason, he'll break the tackle. That's the dare they've got to show. He'll go again, but he's worked himself into a hole. He just got the boot on it. McKee tries to get the football, pushes off his opponent, working towards the boundary. Still staying in the field of play. Now it'll be sent towards half forward from Nellis. 1-on-1 contest. The second reinforcement coming in. Eaton, he's half taken it. He hasn't been paid. And we'll have a stoppage 35 metres out.
No, I think there's a few sets of hands on that one.
of course, Fraser Eaton last week. He was just that real tall timber for this Wilston Grange outfit. So one of the keys that Coach Jared Marsh would have identified for Sandagate during the week was stopping him as it comes towards half-back. Again, as the ball got chopped off to him early. But here comes Sandagate. They play some pretty attacking football. Cashin Harris is there. He's laid the tackle well. I really like his pressure. Just stacks on. With a stoppage. Just forward to centre here for Wilston Grange.
Yeah, Cashin Harris, look, he looks good when he's got the footy, but when he doesn't have the footy, he looks really good. Look, great pressure, great chase.
Give the honours to Reed that time. He got it down, but it's going to sort of punky. That's really overzealous. There could have been a free kick, not paid. Thought there might have been in the back, but not to be against Smart. And another ball up. Reed wins it down. Warren, who looks like he's getting some more midfield time this evening. Hand pass away from Taglieri. It's just bouncing around now. It'll go forward through Maynard. He'll send it towards half forward. Big one-on-one contest. It's a good kick. The Garners couldn't quite cut it off. There's options in the pocket. That's a good kick too.
Good hands too. Oh, did he? No, he has taken it, yep.
So this could be Sandgate's third. I'm just trying to see who it is. On that outer side, I think it. Don't think it's Fabian. Well, one thing I am really liking is Sandgate's movement this evening forward to centre. They are playing with some real urgency.
When they get clean footy, they're very quick.
The shot from 35 metres out. It's almost, is that a goal? No, it's a point. Well, the players look pretty happy and the celebration's going on in the crowd, but ladies and gentlemen, that's a point. It's going to come out of back. Lipscomb. Sent towards the middle of the ground. It's got to be good. As he finds a teammate there in Farring.
You really got to keep your eye on the play with these new kick-out rules as well. They get it out so quickly.
Yeah, Mason, he stuck the studs up there, but not too much. He'll send it quickly forward, but like a lot of the movements this evening so far, it's lacking a bit of system at the moment here for Wilston Grange. They're so precise with their movement going forward as the kick comes out and Larkins will take it on half-back.
Now, where's their next option? Wilston Grange with the numbers on the wing. Just going to go back in the pocket. Just playing slow, steady footy here at the moment, Sandgate. Oh, that's a dangerous kick to the opposite pocket there right now. Again, just short, steady. Look, they know when to run, they know when to go. Just calm and collected out of the back line here at the moment. And that is going to come undone very, very quickly. Kick out of bounds in front of the members. You're not doing yourself any favours.
I dare say that wasn't calm and collected. Adrian. So it's on the wing. We've hit time on opening term. 7-point margin in favour of the Hawks. We expect maybe possibly a higher scoring affair early. It certainly could eventuate that way. But at the moment, both teams just feeling each other out a little bit as at half back, it bounces up in the air. Nothing really done from McKee. As a little bit of push and shove.
The high tackle, I think the umpire's calling for. Yep. Oh, someone not happy there.
Goes towards half forward. Big 2-on-2 contest. No mark taken. Goes over the back. Hand pass on. That should be a goal. And
hit the post.
It's a post up. Might have been Coulter who kicked that.
Oh, was that a dribble?
That was a dribble.
Don't.
I don't mind that in that situation, to be honest. Sandagate will bring it back into the field of play. Towards the wing now. Wilston Grange have all the numbers. Try take that one. O'Brien flew up, couldn't quite take the mark. It'll be sent back in from Lipscomb. That's a good kick. No mark taken though. They've dropped a few they'd probably expect to take. Still bobbling around. Still going around McKee. Calls a ball not on it. It's out of play. And we'll have a throw in.
Wilston really starting to pepper now with repeat inside 50s.
So I think you got some stats there, AJ, you might want to run through.
Yeah, look, clearances is Wilston Grange so far. So total clearances, just got to count them up, 7-3 at the moment. Centre clearances 2-1 Wilston. Again, Wilston inside 50s 9-5. Free kick count is 5-1 Wilston Grange at the moment.
So back at the throw-in, Bradford wins the tap down decisively. It's cleared out of there from Sandagate. They just send it to the wing, not that much system. Goes over the head, no mark taken from Payno. Instead, Wilston Grange will repel. Up the door, who is right on the wing in front of the members, and it's a packed members wing tonight. He'll send it towards half forward, a chiselling sort of a ball. And the mark has been taken.
Bit of a purple patch here for Wilston at the moment. They've just got to capitalise now.
By Thompson. I think he's posturing to have a shot here, Thompson.
Yeah, good kick.
It would be a very good kick in these conditions. Obviously, it is perfect conditions tonight, but it would be in excess of 50. So he sent it on his way, Thompson. He's got onto it, but he's always to the near side. It's one behind, so 5 points the margin, 2-1 to 1-2.
I was going to ask you how far out that was, Raz, but didn't want to put you on the spot, mate.
No need to mention that one, Adrian. There's a sent back into the field of play from Hogan. It's at half back. Sandagate, they have been under pressure in their defensive 50 the last 5 to 10 minutes, but they've held up pretty well. I think they'd be pretty impressed with their opening term. Towards the wing. 1-on-3 contest. Numbers everywhere. Try and get that one. Falls down eventually. Wilston Grange will be coming right back in. These inside 50s are really got to add up eventually. Hand passed away there from Maynard. Another throw in. Right at half forward. What have you liked so far from the Sandagate game? I think they've been pretty composed, and I've liked the way they've defended.
Yeah, look, I think they've defended well. You know, they're holding out, repeat inside 50s. Look, Wilston haven't been on target at the moment. But then again, Wilston haven't scored a goal in the last 10 minutes. They've probably had the majority of the ball. So Sandagate are putting enough pressure on them to keep a clean sheet. Well, they don't have a clean sheet, but keep a clean sheet in the last 10 minutes anyway.
Bradford wins it down that time. Trying to run onto that one's Gribble, but he didn't get the hand pass in time. A lot of stoppages at the moment.
Yeah, it's turned into a bit of a scrap.
And you know what, we did say, hello. Well, it's not something we want to see. And the free kick, has it been played? It has. It will be going to the Gorillas. And now it'll be sent in quickly towards the forward 50, and that's a good kick. Well, look. It's been marked just inside the line. No, it hasn't actually. It's been turned over.
Called out on the fall.
Pretty line ball from this angle. Obviously, we are on the other end of the ground, so hard to see, but it'll be going right back towards the wing. It's being played between the arcs at the moment. Agarnis tried to fly, couldn't quite take it. It goes towards half forward. There are numbers here forward for Sandagate. They have got it over the back. And just like that, it'll be Nellis who will go inside. Not the greatest of kicks. Oh, they have, looks like that could have been high, not paid. And they've stuffed that up, unfortunately, for them as it comes towards this wing, and it's going to be coming back with some gusto. Big one-on-one contest coming up. Trying to duck inside there was McKee. He couldn't quite get it away. Eaton was there as well. Now coming in hard is Coulter. He's tackled by two Hawks. It'll be a ball up.
Yeah, they made a real mess of that, Sandagate. Gee, they were lucky that Wilston didn't capitalise on the rebound as well.
I'll have a stoppage. Tompkinson wins it down that time for the Gorillas. The umpire. Say, give it a meet.
Tompkinson just picking up where he left off last week.
It was a very good ruck duo last week for the Gorillas. It's one of the many things that won them the game as the clearance goes from Maynard towards half forward, off hands, towards the boundary line. Harrop, who was the rising star, well, he breaks the tackle, gets a hand pass in. This could work out really well. Hand pass inside there from Hartley. It's sent towards goal, or bounces over heads. This is dangerous. Agarnis, that's a goal-saving tackle. Oh. They're still in a lot of trouble, though, and that's holding the ball. Well, the Hawks have come to play. There is absolutely no doubt about that. Looked like Wilston had that covered.
this could be, and I'm not talking about game, set, and match, but for this quarter, going into quarter time, this could be an absolute backbreaker. Oh, wow.
Backbreaker for who?
Yeah, well, that's when it turns a 180, doesn't it? You know, Wilston had all that ball up there and couldn't capitalise. Sandagate come down, golden opportunity, and yeah, don't know what to say about that. There's a few expletives you could say, but I'm sure a few of the Sandagate players are saying them right now.
Ultimately, they still do have the lead in what has been a low-scoring affair. Looks like they might have been waiting for a blood rule, something of the like. This will be sent back into play from Gore. 2-on-2 contest coming up. Big fly.
Good mark.
And that's a really good mark there taken from Farry. Now, what does he have? He's got Coulter right on the boundary. Instead, he goes to the left footer in McKee. Back to Farry. They've got themselves into trouble, but eventually get themselves out of it. We'll send it towards half forward. That's well done. Now they can go over the top. O'Brien. This should be a goal. Tompkinson just needs to pick it up, have a shot, and he puts the Gorillas in front on the siren.
Too, yeah.
Well, how quickly do fortunes change? That is a 12-point turnaround, and instead of saying it would be an 11-point lead to the Hawks, we are all square at quarter time, 2-2 apiece. Goal kickers for Wilston Grange were Henry Leong there, and of course Tompkinson. And for Sandgate, we also had Taglieri going through there, and it looks like it might have been Nellis. So it is 2-2. Pretty even game early. Bit of a scrap, but we're set for a beauty here, Adrian.
And that is that backbreaker we were just talking about. Unfortunately for Sandgate, it went the other way.
So it is quarter time. Anzac football bumper crowd. Hope you're enjoying it at home. We're going to be in for a tight affair. It's a North Brisbane derby. We'll be back in about 5 minutes for the second term. So about to get underway here in the second term. From Hickey Park, it's the North Brisbane Derby on Anzac Eve. Primetime football on the QAFL TV network. I'm Riley Starry. Adrian O'Reilly is with you. It is 2-2, 14 apiece. Very intense opening term, that one, Adrian. Hopefully we're in for more of that.
Yeah, look, interesting opening term. Sandgate started really, really crisp, but then they just got dragged into a bit of an arm wrestle with Wilston. And Wilston just late goal right on the siren at the end of that first quarter. Just level the scores up. So going to go into the second quarter with a bit of confidence. Wilston, how's Sandgate going to answer?
Time will only tell. One thing that was pretty interesting was that ruck battle in that opening term. Bradford dominated early. Reid certainly acquitted himself well as rucks go out of Bradford. The aforementioned wins the clearance away. It goes towards half forward about 25 metres. Agarnis was pretty quiet early, but he can have moments like those. He stepped inside three. We'll send it towards half forward. Big one-on-one coming up. Eaton couldn't quite take the mark. He did everything but actually take it. Sent towards the wing position. And they've ultimately done okay. The mark has been taken by Hogan. Will be sent towards half forward, and they'll be coming with gusto towards the forward line. No mark taken. It goes over the back of Payno. Now in front, and now the Grange just have the numbers, and they're going okay. They're under massive pressure, though. Is that deliberate?
Sandgate think it was.
Doesn't look like it was paid. Might consider themselves a little bit lucky there, because I think he was under pressure. So we'll have a throw in forward pocket.
Sandgate just starting the second quarter like they did the first. Just very quick and very sharp.
One thing I have noticed, Wilston are trying to keep their numbers deeper. So they're pushing so much up to the ball. That's a shot on goal. It doesn't quite make the distance. And call a touch ball, but it will be a point anyway. It's pretty well disguised. So 1 point the margin, 2-2 to 2-3. As we sent back in the play. That's almost could have been paid a mark, not quite. Towards the boundary line. A lot of numbers around this one. Now the hand pass is fed out. It's gone over the top. Trying to get it to Farry. He'll send it towards half forward. Big 2-on-2 coming up. One of them there is Eaton. He couldn't quite take it. He's been very industrious early in terms of work ethic, but Just hasn't quite got a grasp for it yet this evening, as there's another free kick going the Hawks' way.
No,
They've got it at half back.
Hawks are reading it. As soon as it hits ground, Hawks are reading it a lot quicker than Wilston are.
Towards the wing, one-on-one. Falls to the bottom of the pack. A lot of numbers around this. With a stoppage. No, it's still bouncing around. It's eventually fed out. It's a bit of a scrap. Coulter was there. He didn't get onto it. Instead, it's sent further forward. Big step inside. Almost trying to lay a tackle there. Was Heaslip. He couldn't quite, but it still goes forward eventually. Reed will pump it down there. One-on-one contest. No mark taken, but it falls to the bottom. Farry gets it away. The Grange have the numbers. They should make something of it. Doesn't look like they will. We've got a play down behind play for the Hawks. There's actually a free kick. They've actually got numbers on this wing. If they move it quick enough, it goes over the head of Larkins. He gets there eventually. He'll send it towards our broadcast position. That's a good kick. And Harding will go up the line. He's been taken in the field of play by Nellis, who goes over the top. That's a good kick.
Yeah.
This is really good system. They've done this quite well. They're about 75 metres out from goal. It's Hagan. He'll send it forward, trying to find Payno. No mark taken off the hands. Agarnis is there. He couldn't quite get it. Still sent away. Agarnis dropped a ball he should have taken. Now it's a snap at goal. It looked like a snap. It went about 2 metres high and didn't go forward at all. Nellis has sent it out on the full. So a few missed opportunities for the Hawks so far in this one. They probably, if they probably would have wanted to take them. They're one of those sides that can't really afford to miss them.
Yeah, so they look good, get to half forward. Once they kick inside 50, it all of a sudden becomes a hot potato.
Reed, he thought he was paid the mark. He didn't take. He didn't get paid, but he gets it anyway. Agarnis will send it over the top. Now Thompson streaming through Hickey Park. He'll go forward to his mate there in Heaslip. He'll send it further forward. This is much better movement. Trying to run onto that one was Nellis. He gets it away eventually. Now it's fed to Gribble. 35 out.
Oh,
One
wow.
behind.
Both teams missing easy shots at goal.
This was a boxing match. Through about 3 rounds, it'd be a bit of a stalemate at the moment. Fireworks you certainly expect to come as we go along, as its hand pass is fed to Milford, who sends it across goal. And Tompkinson has taken that one. He kicked one in the opening term right on the siren. This is for number 2.
Yeah, look, a bit unsure. He was looking inside, looking for someone. Nothing really presented itself, so he's going to take it upon himself. Now he's going to step out on the right. Looks like he is.
There's the snap. And it's one behind. So
Just missed to his near side.
a couple of missed opportunities for both sides. But importantly, for the first time tonight, Wilston Grange have the lead. It is by 1 point, early stages of this second term.
So, Sandagate, just a bit back and forth. Deep back at the moment. Just looking for the right option. Very careful. That's a good kick, straight up the guts. And again, just slowing it down. It is actually very hard to see from this position tonight, but we'll go with it. And that's a turnover. Wilston ball, just Sandagate's side of the centre. Short kick and they're off here. Very open forward line and a great attack on the ball. No, nothing doing at the moment now. Players want holding the ball. Umpire says no, give it to me.
So it is in the Gorillas forward 50.
I don't know about you, but I'm actually having a lot of trouble seeing the numbers with these lights tonight.
Got to
Good
do our
kick.
best. That's a good kick at goal. That was absolutely sensational there from the
That's
Grange.
McKee, I think. It was too.
It was the left footer who kicked off the right foot there in Mitch McKee, of course. He kicked one out on the full in the opening term, but that's his first 7-point lead to the Gorillas. 3-4-22 to 2-3-15. We've played about 7 minutes into this second term.
Well, Gorillas with the last 3 goals of this game. It is a low-scoring game at the moment, so Sandagate are going to want to get on their bike shortly. Otherwise, this could slip away very quickly.
Who has impressed you so far from Wilston Grange? I've been pretty impressed with Ryan Thompson's game at the moment, personally. I think Sam Gribble, who we see in front of us on the wing, he's got a little bit of it, but he certainly wants better impact. And I think Dylan Reid, he's halving the ruck contest, which is very important.
Yeah, look, Reid is good. Look, their rucks are fantastic this year. Gribble, you can always count on Gribble. Corvo's hasn't been as much in the play as last week, but he's still doing his job. Oh, good.
So Mitch McKee just kicked the goal and then gave a bone-crunching hit to halve the contest.
I think the other one is Garnis. Garnis starting to get into the game as well.
He's so crucial for their rebound from half-back. So back at the contest, Reid wins the tap down. Cashin Harris, he hasn't had much of it this week as of yet. He forces the stoppage once again. So they're 70 metres out from the Hawks attacking goal. Neither ruckman win it down that time. It goes towards the back and we'll have another ball up.
Bit of a stalemate here at the moment.
There's a lot of real stoppages going on. It's always interesting to watch teams just really work their way through it. It's a lot of grunt work. It's a lot of hard work too. Cashin Harris, that's a good handball. And the kick sent forward. That could have been paid to Nellis. He didn't quite take the mark. Instead, it's sent to McKee, who's been one of their best for the Grange tonight. He stepped inside one. Now it's fed back from Reid. Garnis will try to get there. He's just missed it. McKee goes again. I think he's got a free kick for his troubles. It was a very forceful tackle. And it's 50. It's
undisciplined.
Not the smartest one to give up.
No.
So instead of being a true centre half back, this will be going to centre half forward. And Mitch McKee is a thumping kick. So at the very least, he could send it to the teeth of goal if he wanted to.
Still not a lot of players inside their forward 50. He should move it quickly.
There's the thumping kick. Big contest coming up. No mark taken. Should have been from the front. Sandagate have the numbers. They'll get it away through Bloss. Bloss will just punt it in the air and says, get the hell out of here. That's a good mark.
It's worked out
there, which has been taken from Payno. Where does Payno want to go? He'll send about 40 metres up the 9. Nellis, he looks like the main target this evening. He's got Corvo for company. Hand pass it to himself, then gets another one. That'd be good on the Dream Team stats. Still forces further back. Sandagate have the numbers. Hand pass away. Wasn't the greatest from Harrop, who's then taken out a very strong tackle from Warren. We'll have a ball up.
Yeah, he had a man outside and a man inside. Decided to go inside and didn't pay off. The man outside actually had no pressure on him whatsoever. Sometimes it's easier to go the long way home.
Reid won the tap down. Tried to find Warren, couldn't quite nail it. Eventually come away towards half forward. One-on-one contest coming up. Goes over the back. It's been overrun there from Leong. He still keeps it in. He's such a good player. He's very industrious.
Oh, well done.
Unfortunately, Warren didn't have the same awareness. It's gone out of play. They were away there, Wilston Grange, if Warren got that hand pass off half a second quicker.
Yeah, Leong did really well there. Look, I'm not sure who it was that was running with him. I think it might have been Maynard. Don't quote me on that. But he went the body and not the ball. And Leong just turned him inside out.
So there's the throw in. Reid gets front position. Maynard, who you just mentioned, was tackled straight away. I'll have a ball up. About 20 metres in for the line, 15, 20 metres.
Just a real grind.
Half forward, that could be a free kick against Bradford, not paid. Goes forward to Harrop. He couldn't quite pick it up. It's really a scrap at the moment. Getting tackled there straight away is Batchelor. I haven't called his name too often. Now it comes out eventually. Hand pass was away from Harding. Now the kick towards what you'd call half forward from Maynard. Now Payno. He's just forward to centre. Not too much movement ahead. So he's just going to set it up and see who can take a grab. Big 1-on-2 contest. Garnis didn't really fly at that one. It didn't matter. Corvo at the back gets the hand pass away. Lipscomb back to Corvo over the top to Garnis, who's, I think he's been tripped as he's gone through. Completely accidental. We'll have a throw in, just about 40 metres out.
Just good pressure there from Sandgate. Just a bit of perceived pressure.
So back at the contest, Rucks will go at it. This has been a very intriguing battle. Reid gets it away. Hand pass back from Harding. Now the kick forward was taken from Hartley. No mark taken in that pack. Try and take it eventually. It's gone out of play. We'll have another throw in, this time right next to the point post. Sandgate's forward 50.
Yeah, dangerous position here. Sandgate really need to capitalise on this now. They cannot let this game get away from them. Where are the crummers? Where are the front and centres? And it's all Wilston there, hands out. trying to handball their way out of it. Oh, that's nearly out on the full. No, umpire says I'll throw it in. Who was that there with the footy?
So another ball in. One matchup I am noticing, it looks like Loki Haynes has moved on to Henry Leong half forward. Two speedsters, you could say. Hartley couldn't quite get it away. Thompson feeds it out off a socket. They're just raking the hand passes. McKee, oh, that's a good mark. It's quite a tough one to take, but that was really well cut off there from Braden Harding. He looks like a likely type. He'll send it towards half forward. Reid tried to fly, couldn't quite take it. Cashin Harris, it's been really an almost night at the moment. He really has tried hard, but couldn't quite get it away. That's a good spoil there from Haynes over Leong.
Haynes has been good defensively tonight.
He's been quite good defensively. He's got quite a good mullet on him as well. Might call him Mullet Man for the remainder of this one. Something that might stick as it comes back in the field of play. Give the honours to Reid once again. He got front position. Dixon, haven't called his name too often. To McKee, to Dixon. Hand pass in the middle of the ground. This is where it really could open up. Gore with a spearing, chiselling sort of a pass. 4 attempts at that. No mark taken. Try to get away. He's Bloss. He's worked himself into trouble.
Oh,
he's worked himself into massive trouble. And Coulter goes bang! Lock, stock and barrel. That's number 4 for the Grange. 13 points the margin. 4-4, 28, 2-3, 15. Ticking to about halfway through this second term, Adrian O'Reilly.
In a low-scoring game with a 2-goal break, this could start to get into dangerous territory very shortly for Sandagate.
So what was a very industrious start for them. They kicked the first 2 goals of this evening. Wilston Grange, they've really started to flex their muscle. You can see out there, not just you look at the team metrics in terms of height and weight, but just the eye test. They are a lot bigger than this Sandagate outfit, pardon me. And it's really starting to tell this physical contest which it is turning into. This favours Wilston Grange massively.
Oh, look, it does, yeah. And, you know, the smaller bodies will tire quickly as well. So, yeah, the bigger bodies of Grange just sort of standing over Sandagate having their say.
So back in the middle. Rucks do go at it. Another good tackle laid there from McKee. I'm really liking his game. His pressure has been outstanding. Very good left footer as well. Go at it once again. Tompkinson wins it down that time. Coulter and Tompkinson lay the tackle immediately after he hits the ground. Sandagate, in the first 5 to 10 minutes, they really had a lot of room to move. But now all this space has been tightened up, Adrian.
Yeah, they have. Wilston Grange have really tightened up. They've seen their game plan. They've acted on it very, very quickly.
So going forward, Maynard with the kick. No mark taken off that one. It's still in the middle of the ground. Wilston Grange, they are just getting to the football a bit quicker at the moment. They're getting first to the football, which is crucial. This calls for holding the ball on the wing. With a ball up.
Look, it's good coaching too. It's very reactive coaching, especially early in the game, to send that message out from the bench. You know, that's what you want. So Wilston with another flurry forward here. They're really keeping their forward line empty at the moment, Wilston. Turnover here. Just a bumbling kick inside. Looks like it's going to be rushed through for one behind. Wilston Grange now 4 goals 5, pardon me, to Sandagate 2 goals 3.
And it could be turned over straight away. It's sent towards the pocket, but out on the full. No harm done, but the noose you just feel like is starting to tighten on this Hawks outfit.
Wilston getting on top of the inside 50s again this quarter. So far, 6 inside 50s to 3, Wilston's way.
Sent back into the field of play at halfback. Really just trying to find something here, Sandagate. That's a good tackle from Cashin Harris. We'll have a ball up. But he's just trying to find something at the moment. They were so good in that first 10 to 15 minutes, but as this game's really gotten on the inside, they've started to struggle a little bit, but they're certainly still in it. Gore sends it forward. Couldn't find his target. It comes out towards the back. Going in hard is Batchelor. He was tackled straight away. Now, numbers do favour here, Sandagate. Good tackle laid from Milford. Now it comes towards halfback. One-on-one coming up. Smart. Well, that's almost a slips catch there to Harrop. He couldn't quite take it. Trying to go in hard there was Larkins. Now the hand pass is fed. This is where they can really start to attack. Bloss will send it forward. And they've still got numbers. It's fed further back. Back to Larkins. There is an option all on his own. And that is Harrop. He'll step around one. He can set it up. And again, just a missed opportunity. You almost feel like this game changed. With that shot with about 40 seconds to go in the opening term. From about 10 metres out, it was missed. And Wilston Grange went down the other end and Tompkinson kicked that goal. Since then, it's been all Gorillas as they go forward once again. 2-on-1 contest. Heaslip tries to get in there hard. And it's a free kick. It is going the way of the Grange. It's sent towards half ball. That's a chiselling sort of a ball. No mark taken. Milford's thereabouts. Ominous lead. Couldn't quite get there. It's sent out now on the wing. Let's see what this Sandagate outfit can do. It bounces up. It finds Hagan. He'll step inside. He's such a good user. He finds Cashin Harris. He's about 75 metres out. They got numbers on the members' end of the ground. Goes to 50. That is a bomb. That is just off target.
Gee, they really switched that ball quickly.
Comes back in the field of play. The margin's brought ever closer, only slightly. The first score Sandagate have had since the opening minute of this second term. It's sent in from Bloss. It's a good kick. Trying to get there was Gore. He couldn't quite force the spoil. And Taglieri, he's about 55 metres out. He can send it on its way in towards the 50. Big 3-on-1. No mark taken there for the Hawks. It's just not really clean. Cashin Harris, he tries to come out with it. He couldn't quite. It's fed further back. Thompson now goes to Coulter. Coulter will look inboard. And he finds Farry, who's at half-back. Now, what does he go to next? He's going to try find Leong. He's got the outnumber. That is very well read, though, there from Hogan. He just read that better off the boot. Better than the veteran. And he'll send it in towards the middle of the ground. The kick didn't do him much justice, though. Hand pass from Tompkinson. He'll send it towards half forward. But again, it's just a little bit messy at the moment. Certainly willing. It's fantastic physicality. We'll have another ball up. Yeah, just a few movements from both sides. They're really being cut off by skill errors at the moment.
I've got to say, I wouldn't put that skill error on the Hogan kick. There was two men by themselves, and there was just no talk whatsoever.
So Gribble tried to get the hand pass. It was a bit of a bump ball coming in. Hagan, Harrop, hand pass away, goes straight to Coulter. Now Coulter will send it towards half forward. What can he find in a teammate? Diving on it. There was almost Warren. He couldn't get it away. Now it's sent forward from Hutchinson, and now they got options. Hagan, he's about 75 metres out. There's a man who has got a bit of space if it gets over the back. Couldn't quite find Nellis. Once again, Wilston Grange scrambled well defensively. Gribble wanted the hand pass, didn't get it. They work it out eventually towards this wing, trying to get onto its Bloss. Warren halves the contest, feeds it out. He did well because he knew he had numbers on the inside. Coulter will get the hand pass, and he'll send it forward 10 metres, and Leong looked about 10 metres off the boot initially, but it carried the 15. Henry Leong is taking the mark. That's a dangerous kick. You don't want to turn it over there. Gribble tries to come save the day, but he couldn't quite. Bloss over the top. Cashin Harris, they have to score from here. It's not the greatest of kicks. Oh, that is sensationally done from Corvo. He knew he had to come off his man to at least try and force a turnover. We'll get the cavalry to arrive, which they've done now. And Gore just says, get it out of here, and sends it towards the wing. Eaton will be there first for the Grange if it stays in the field of play. It doesn't. Oh, he's called deliberate.
Wow.
Well, it's going to be coming right back. Now, what's ahead? Not too much. Once again, Wilston Grange, they're just so much better set up behind the ball now. Gribble to Coulter. He's really racking it up. It's like he's got lever poisoning. We'll send it towards the wing. Farry couldn't take it. Well done there from his opponent in Hogan. Well done from Farry on the second and third effort. Coulter lays the shepherd. Sent up the line, coming in hard is McKee. That is clean hands, but the handball wasn't the greatest. And it'll be a throw in.
Just last 5 minutes with Sandagate. They're looking so good on that lead up to half forward, but it's that last kick inside 50. that they're just missing out.
It's almost looking like it's James Nellis or bust at the moment for them. He looks like the main tall target with that very recognisable glove. Reed wins it down. Thompson, well, he's just burst through 3 and sends a torpedo towards half forward. No mark taken from Milford. It's tapped further on. Coming in hard there was Haynes. He couldn't quite get it away. McKee, he pushes him off. He gets past 1. He snaps it towards goal. Don't tell me he's kicked it! Oh, you bet he has! That is the goal of the night by a country mile. And Wilston Grange are getting on top. Well done, Mitch McKee. That's his second of the quarter. Adrian O'Reilly, how about that?
Yeah. Well, I actually really don't know. He didn't have the right to kick that goal. He was running away from goal. He had a man on his hammer who had his jumper in his hand, and he just easily pushed him off, turned to the left. Didn't belt it, just stroked it through. Absolutely beautiful. This is getting into very, very bad territory for Sandagate.
Wilston Grange, they've certainly got on top. They have all the momentum. Of course, after Sandagate, they've kicked the first 2 of the game. It's really been all the Gorillas since, and Mitch McKee.
And again, it's just that turnaround play. As I said, Sandagate was starting to look so promising moving forward, and then Wilston Grange turn it around, bang, kick a goal.
So back in the middle, about to be recalled. They really need half-time to come here, Sandagate, just to really reset. Of course, they do have the fresh legs in this matchup, coming off that 2-week rest. They could rely on that. Coulter came in hard. He couldn't quite get it away. Trying to sort of feed it out. Hand pass over the top was very well done there from Harding. It could be holding the ball. It is holding the ball.
Yeah, starting to get a little bit kamikaze now, Sandagate. There's a man down the centre too.
Gribble will send it wide, and that's Gore. He's about 75 metres out. You keep your eye on that one, AJ, for the injury. Not the greatest of kicks from Gore. It could almost work out because Lipscomb's laid a beauty of a tackle. The umpires...
Yeah, no, they're waiting.
Injured player. Just trying to identify who that is. And it looks like
Patchen.
it is.
Is it Patchen?
No, it's Jordan Maynard.
It is
Patchen
Maynard, sorry.
is one of the emergencies tonight. Jordan Maynard's coming off the ground now, so...
Not sure if he caught one of the guts or maybe a little bit lower, but he wasn't comfy.
Lipscomb. Fed away towards half forward, 2-on-2 contest. Goes over the back of pretty much everyone. Again,
Good attack.
I'm loving the attack from this Wilston Grange lineup. McKee tries to go again. He's trying to kick goal the year every time he gets onto it. Fed back. They've got numbers everywhere. It's sent towards the square. And Mason should take it.
Oh,
that or a
heavy.
free kick. Well, he got neither in the end. Gribble snaps. Kicks.
Touch. No.
Off the boot.
No, it looks like it's through.
The umpires call
wow.
the goal. Well, Sandagate were very confident that that was in the field of play, but hasn't eventuated. And instead of a kick in, Sam Gribble's got his first. And this is getting beyond dangerous. This could potentially start to get a little bit ugly, Adrian.
That looked like a very deliberate tap through for a behind, but obviously the goal umpire's got a better view than we do, and this is getting out of hand very quickly.
So after kicking the first 2 goals of the game, Sandagate, they've conceded now the last 6. It's 6-5-41, 2-5-17. Well, we'll get that confirmed at half-time, but a little bit of a discrepancy between that and the manual scoreboard to my right.
Yeah, this siren can't come quick enough for Sandagate at the moment.
So back in the middle. Rucks will go at it. Winning the tap down that time was Bradford. Hagan tried to come off the wing. He couldn't do much with it, and eventually a tackle was laid on Bradford. Rucks will go at it again. Reed wins the tap down. Falls towards the back. Batchelor could have been taken high. No free kick play on. And another ball up. Whereas this game, Wilston Grange have really started to open it up in the last 5 to 10 minutes, but I think that period of just shutting it down, stoppage after stoppage, worked in their favour as a free kick's been pulled out of that. It's gone the way of the Hawks, and they can try and create something. Larkins will send it forward. Hagen's got to do well here to get onto it. Lipscomb comes in hard. Hagen feeds it away. It's hand passed in the air. Cashin Harris, it misses him.
Yeah, look
Not
at
having the
numbers around
greatest of
footy.
nights. Smart. Fed a hand pass back. Farry tried to take the mark. He couldn't quite. Larkins was taken out of the field of play. This is just, we're almost toying with them at the moment. The Gorillas. Nellis fed a hand pass back. It's just going between hands at the moment before sent forward from Mason about 30, 35 metres. That's a good mark. That's well done from O'Halloran. Now, what does he have ahead of him, O'Halloran? Well, he has the man on the mark in McKee, who's about 6 inches shorter. And now Wilston Grange will go again. Reid will send it forward. There is only one player in the forward 50 if this stays in the field of play, but it takes something special from here. Milford, we know he can do something special.
Oh,
Wasn't a bad effort. It's been rushed through for a behind. It probably wouldn't have
I think
made
it
the
might
goal,
have-
but
yeah.
it certainly wasn't too bad. Off the boot. As Hagen will take it at half back.
So Sandagate just trying to reload from back pocket now. They've slowing the play down a bit. They've really got to find something before half time. But if they want to do that, I think they're going to move it quickly. They're going to switch play now. Onto the members' side. Long kick out to half back. It's a good kick. Now they start to move on. So they're going slow play out of the back line. As soon as they hit that half back line, they're moving it on. Easy turnover though, Wilston Grange. Oh, a bit messy. They've all left it behind. Desperation stakes there. Wilston Grange look like they're going to get out. Just slowing it down. Men everywhere. Lots of loud voices out there for Wilston Grange.
That was very well done from Haynes because
Haynes.
Mason, if he got onto that one, would have been away. Haynes got the hand pass. It goes straight to Farrick. Now to Mason. Now, where's he going to send it? He's just going to snap it forward about 35 metres. One-on-one contest. Both players were holding, so no free kick. This will just bounce in. Haynes takes it out.
Really starting to look uncomfortable, Sandagate.
Of course, it is a young team. It's a relatively inexperienced team at senior level. You've got to get used to those pre-seasons and those more physical bodies, those bigger bodies to play against. It's a learning experience for them every week as it goes to half-time. Fantastic quarter for the Gorillas.
Yeah, huge quarter.
And they will be turning 25 points to the good. It's 6-6, 42 to 2-5-17. Adrian O'Reilly and Riley Starray with you for the coverage. And Adrian, after what was a pretty promising opening 10 to 15 minutes of that half for the Hawks, Wilston Grange, they really got on top like the team thought they would, like you thought they would, and I think like a lot of people here thought they would.
Yeah, look, they did. They sort of, first quarter they really built that pressure, and then in the second quarter they started to get clear. They started to build their running game a bit more, get some confidence in their disposal. Look, there were stages there that Sandagate started to look good, especially when they were moving the ball up the ground at half forward. But it was just that last kick inside 50 to let them down, taking nothing away from Wilston Grange's defence. They were fantastic.
So just going through the goal kickers for you. First we'll go through the Gorillas. 2 goals to Mitchell McKee, 2 absolute pearlers. Both snaps, so he got 2 in that second term, and then singles to Sam Gribble, Jackson Coulter, Jack Tompkinson and Henry Leong. Whilst for the visitors in Sandgate, 2 goal kickers. James Nellis, he kicked the opening goal of the game. I believe James Taglieri, he kicked the second, but I'll get that confirmed at halftime for you. So we have hit halftime. Anzac E football, Wednesday night football, primetime football. No place you'd rather be. We'll be back in about 15 minutes for the second half and see if this Hawks outfit can stage a famous comeback or Wilston Grange, they can win their second game of the year. So about to get underway here in the second half of this Anzac Eve clash. And it's the Wilston Grange Gorillas, the home team, who are 26 points to the good. We've confirmed the scores at halftime, 6-6-42 to 2-4-16. And the way it's looking, they might be going on their merry way to win number 2 of season 2019. Hello, I'm Riley Starray. With me this evening is Adrian O'Reilly. And Adrian, what do the Sandgate Hawks have to do to get back into this one?
Look, very, very plain and simple. They've got to play the way they played in the first 15 minutes of the game. They were fantastic. They were running the footy. I think, as we talked about in that second quarter, the bigger bodies of Wilston Grange just sort of wore them down a bit. They've just got to back themselves, I think. Look, it's only 4 goals. It's not a big margin. Yes, it's not a high-scoring game. It's not a big margin. I think they've just got to back themselves a bit more. They're putting their head over the footy all right. They've just got to run and gun a bit more. They are going to one singular target up forward, which is hurting them. So maybe a few more small forwards, getting around the legs.
So big second half coming up. There's the bounce, and like to begin the opening half.
Carbon copy of the first quarter.
We will have a recall. One thing I did want to mention is the Neefel lads for Sandagate. They start getting into it a little bit in that second term, Michael Hagan in particular, but you want a bit more out of them. James Nellis, he kicked the first goal of the game, but apart from that, he's been pretty quiet as Bradford won the tap down, but it deflected straight off Reed's hands. Trying to come in hard is Farry. He sends it towards the forward line, and almost a mark there to Eaton, not taken. It's off hands, goes in the air. It's now punched forward, but Coulter will get there first. He's very recognisable, peroxide-like blonde hair. He'll send it forward. No mark taken there from Haynes. He's still trying to fight here for Sandagate. Just bouncing around, just bobbling. Coulter again. Now he'll come further back. That's a snap at goal.
Oh, hit the post.
It's hit the post. Looked like it might have been touched off the boot as well. So first score of the second half goes the way of the Gorillas. They are 27 points to the good. 6-7-43, 2-4-16. Opening stages, third term, Adrian O'Reilly.
Thank you very much, Raz. Sandagate, again, go to the members' side. They're not loving us out here too much tonight, are they? And it's going to be a quick reversal for the Western Magpies, sorry, I'm in last week, Wilston Grange.
It's Thompson who's taken the mark. Now, he is a booming right-foot kick. Instead, he'll give it off on the handball. And that's a shot at goal, but he probably would have been wiser to take the shot himself. Reeds missed that. To the right side. 6-8 to 2-4.
Ominous signs here early.
So after such a promising 10 to 15 minutes, they've really died out of this game.
There's no movement from Sandagate whatsoever.
Sent to the pocket, that's okay.
There's 2 leads there, but very wide.
I think their main issue is probably getting it out. I mean, they got to half forward quite a bit. Didn't really do much. We have Batchelor off the left, looking for Nellis. Now he goes off hands to Cashin. Harris finds Harding. Harding goes further back with the hands, and just a punting sort of a kick forward. Not the greatest. No mark taken there from Payno. Thompson. That's the sort of boot you look for. He'll go towards half forward. Eaton couldn't quite take it. He's beaten to the football straight away. Harding couldn't quite get the hand pass. It wasn't the greatest towards him, but he still picks it up anyway. In those recognisable boots. Taglieri hand passed it back to Braden Harding. And then find Larkins, and now we find Maynard. I've got to say, there are a lot of H's in this Sandagate lineup. So we're 75 metres out. The kick inside 50 from Batchelor to a one-on-one contest. Goes over the back of Garnis. Couldn't quite get it. First there is Farry. There's a tackle. That's a kick. That's a goal. Well, that is absolutely out of nothing for Sandagate.
Just one against the flow there. Was that the little man O'Halloran?
Well, it wasn't O'Halloran. I think it might have been Lachlan Harrop. We'll get that confirmed for you, ladies and gentlemen. But that was just really out of nothing. Just the tackle and a quick snap, and I think it might have been Lachlan Harrop. It looked like one of their smaller types, but more importantly, it's a goal. First goal since the 12-minute mark of that first term.
And one against the flow as well.
And they certainly needed it. You never know. One could certainly start something, and one of these things that you need to consider. Wilston Grange, they only played on Friday. They're nowhere near as well rested as this Sandagate lineup. So fitness could become an issue. He's back in the middle, we'll have another stoppage.
Well, it is a confidence game. You know, we had a chat with some Wilston Grange members at halftime, and you know, they agree that the Sandagate legs can run over the top of Wilston Grange, but it's just a confidence thing. It's a confidence game. If they lift their head a bit more, you know, they can really get in this.
Thompson on the members' wing. Will send it towards half forward. That's a searching kick. It's a good one too. Sent through to Milford. Couldn't quite take the mark. And that is Mitch McKee, who sends it on its way to a big contest. No mark taken, comes off hands. Trying to take that was Tompkinson. Sandagate do well to deflect. It's cleared. Cash and Harris would have been the first one there if it didn't go massively wide. And that's
called
deliberate. It's deliberate out of bounds.
It's a bit rough when he's being tackled, I think.
Like the umpiring tonight, but I don't know if I 100% agree with that one. Anyway, Jonah Farry, he's about 75 metres out. He'll send it towards the tall timber. 2-on-2 contest. No mark taken. Falls to the back. Hand pass from Reed. Kick inside from Farry.
Mitch McKee sniffing around there. Your man. You liking him tonight?
Well, you were talking about at half-time as well with a couple of the members. He did want a bit of a pump-up when he had a chat to you, but certainly had to only do it himself. He's needed no pumping up tonight. It's down the wing. Well, look at this run.
Oh,
and Agonis has laid a sensational tackle.
Oh,
and it's a little bit of push and shove on this wing. There's no love lost between these two.
I really hope he hasn't undone his good work there. That was a fantastic run and chase and tackle.
So it's going to be a boundary throw-in. Let's go at it. Bradford wins it from the back. Goes off hands towards the front of the pack. And it's going to be a free kick, and there's a healthy Sandgate crowd tonight. They've got the free kick.
Yeah, they're up and about now.
He's going to be sent along about 80 metres out towards the forward 50. Agonis couldn't effect the spoil. And the mark has been taken. It looks like it's Nellis. He's got that Travis Cloak-like glove on. He kicked the opening goal of this game. He was on the broadcast wing, similar distance, but this is for number 2.
He's lining up. This would be a fair hoof.
So Nellis to send it on its way to make it 16. It's got the distance, and he almost had the accuracy. That's a fair hoof.
Thumped into the post.
That post certainly wobbled quite a bit, but fortunately only one behind as Gore will send it to a 3-on-3. Well, that wasn't really a realistic attempt.
Yeah, oh, no, wow.
Larkins, Reed, send it up the line. Finds a teammate in Milford. Trying to find Leong. Well, that's just very clever. Leong about 65 metres out, sets it on her way. Is this going to shape back? No, it won't. And it was a clever idea, really, to go for goal when no one was on the line, but only 1 point. It's sent back in the field of play. Big contest coming up. Spoil from the back from a Hawk. 2-on-2 contest at half forward here for Wilston Grange. It's just like a lot of this game so far has really just turned to a stoppage. Now it's gone away. Cash and Harris fed a hand pass out. Try to take it and falling over himself. Looked like it was Nellis. Still bouncing forwards. Numbers converge from both teams. Now they eventually clear it away. You're seeing a lot of tonight what's happening. A lot of numbers converging. That's holding a ball. What I was going to say, as soon as it breaks out, that's the main potential for this fast play. But when you have tackles like that,
this ball's really starting to move quickly as well.
It's what we've wanted to see for a lot of this evening. As it's sent towards half forward. Looks like it was dribbled, but it wasn't the greatest of kicks. And being intercepted there by Loki Haynes. And now here come the Hawks from half back. That's an absolute shank. That is really a coach killer. Smart does well. Gets it away on the hand pass. Mason goes inside to Reed. This will hurt if they kick a goal. The Gorillas. Don't know if they will. Coming out is Milford. Still bouncing around 2-on-2 contest. It's fed further back. This is good pressure from Sandagate. This is much better than they did for a period of time in their second term. That's a shot at goal. And that is a goal. Wow. Well, that looked like, again, something that was almost down to nothing. Wilston Grange have kicked their first of this second half. And again, they just keep this margin ticking along. It's 26 points the margin.
That just came from nowhere, that goal. Just quick hands out of the pack, jammed it on the boot, and she just sailed through.
Certainly did. Sorry, 28 points the margin. It's 7-9-51 to 3-5-23. Played about 10 minutes into this third term. Well, that ball just rocketed off the boot.
Wilson get back to that 4.5 goal buffer.
So back in the middle. One thing about these new rules that they've introduced in 2019, if I said it once, I say it again, well, let's play on for the ruck as it goes forward. It's rather interesting. Haynes affects the spoil. It's fed back. Lipscomb over the top of the hand pass. This could hurt. O'Brien, one behind. 29 points of the margin now, but as I was saying, one of the things that does happen with these new rules with 6-6-6, if a team gets a run on, you can't chuck a spare straight from the bounce back. We've seen teams, sort of work their wings back. But from those initial clearances, if you can get one quickly, it's hard to stop that run on.
Yeah, no, look, I do like it. I like the 6-6-6. It keeps the game open from the stoppage. I'm not a big fan of throwing an extra back. It does sort of condense the game a bit more. Does turn into a bit of a scrap and a bit of a fight. You like to see the game open, see the game run, and we're really, really starting to see this in the second half. Start of the second half. So Wilston going forward. That's a good mark there. Looks like he's going to go back and have a shot actually. And this is actually a game shot at goal on the boundary line. He's not wasting any time. I tell you what, if he kicks this could be game, set, and match. He's giving it a good hoof. It looks like he's going to land in the goal square. Oh, nearly bounced over the top. They got men down. And that high tackle, free kick. Is that your man, McKee?
Doesn't look like it's my man, McKee. Then again, I have mistaken him a couple of times this evening. Anyway, there's the shot, and there's the goal. So it's another goal at the Grange. And this margin just extends out ever more. I believe that is Milford who's kicked that one. Again, apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Some of these numbers this evening are a little bit hard to recognise from this end of the ground.
It is a bit hard to see, yes.
But it's a 35-point margin now. 8-10 to 3-5. Sandagate all to do.
Milford's first goal tonight?
He has been a little bit quieter this evening than last week.
He was very promising last week, really good. He has just started to get in this game this third quarter, so...
So Wilston Grange, unless something dramatically changes, just look at their merry way. That clearance will help. That's a good kick inside 50 from Harding, but Corvo equal to the task, will get there first. Taps it to himself. He's got two Hawks behind him. Corvo soccers it to himself again. This is the sort of application.
Too. Look at this.
Coulter couldn't quite lay the tackle, but good effort. That's well done from Sandagate to eventually repel that, and the mark's been taken
from
Jordan
already.
Harding. A little bit of a cramping issue here, it appears. You said, Adrian. Nice and friendly there from Hamish Warren to help him stretch it out, of course. Cramps are not very comfortable. Are they, Adrian?
No, not at all. It's definitely something I've had to put up with in my old age.
So back of the game, Harding. He's going to set it up. He looked very proppy off the kick. 2-on-2 contest. Goes over the back. Bradford couldn't take the mark. They've got numbers. And Corvo will send it right back to Harding. Pretty much identical position.
Does not look comfortable either.
He wants to probably get to the bench. Taglieri will send it forward. Goes over the back. Not Taglieri, sorry. That was, of course, Larkins. He's 27 with 37. Still bouncing around. Now Taglieri gets it away. Just mentioned his name a few seconds early. Batchelor to the boundary. Went to Payno. Will send it forward over the back. Sandgate have the numbers if they can keep it in. It's sort of chipped towards goal. Cash and Harris taps it on intelligently, but couldn't find a teammate. He'll get it back, find a hole. It's all Wilston Grange in this defensive pocket, and Gore will just send it out. And Harding, he's going to get another one. I don't think he really wants to touch it at the moment. He is looking very sore. Warren will send it forward. Leong will get there first. Oh, that is clever. And he can find O'Brien. And if O'Brien can run onto this, he's the type that is very clever. We'll send it towards the middle, trying to find Dixon. It'll get there now. Can he pick it up? He can't quite. Sandagate will get it away. Hutchinson.
Oh,
well,
wow.
That's hit the grass. He's boot, and they could pay the ultimate price here. Try to get away Eaton. That's gone up in the air about 20 metres, gone forward 15. Would have been paid a mark, but neither team could take it. Now Sandagate will eventually run through the members' end. And Hickey Park and the supporters' end as well. It's fed further back up the hands. Looks like there was Batchelor. Couldn't quite get it forward. Cash and Harris couldn't take it. It's going to be coming right back in from Corvo. And that's a chiselling sort of a ball. I really love the way he uses the footy. Fed inside. And there's my man, Mitch McKee.
One thing I've noticed, look, we're only not even midway through the third quarter. There's a lot of sore boys already. A lot of sore boys.
Well, you'd expect it probably from Wilston Grange. They did only play on Friday. I've said it once, said it a million times. But Sandagate, you know, it is only their second game of the year. Speaking, there's another one down, and he's getting some treatment behind play on the ground. Don't know if I've seen that before for a cramp anyway. It looks like a cramp anyway. Mitch McKee, he's kept it low. He goes over the back. I'll tell you what, Coulter was just waiting there. If it hit his hands, that would have been another goal. Anyway, it's 1 point for the Gorillas, and looks like they're on their merry way to win number 2 in season 2019.
Yeah, look, you with the way the game is going at the moment, 8 goals to 3. It is a low-scoring game. But again, there you go. Look, another turnover at half-forward for Wilston Grange. On that member side. They're loving the member side tonight, actually. Low. Ooh.
Certainly are. That's another mark for the Gorillas. In their forward 50. This could get very ugly here very quickly. Looks like Fraser Eaton.
They're really starting
to be getting in on the act.
Really starting to hit those spot-up kicks inside 50 as well. Just those short, low passes.
So Eaton, tight angle, will send it on its way for another behind. So they're death by 1,000 paper cuts, death by 1,000 behinds at the moment. This game ticks on. We've played over half of this third term. Wilston Grange have all the control. Of course, one thing that we do mention and we talk about, like, it's a comfortable. They wouldn't have been in this position too many times last year. Both the games between these two were pretty close. Looked like it was going to be early. The hand pass is fed inside 50. Socket off the ground, and there we go, another behind.
Now, they're going to change it up now, Sandagate. It's about time.
So they're going to send it out towards our broadcast wing. My eyesight is very thankful for that. Maynard's taken the mark at half back. Trying to find Payno. Couldn't quite take the mark, the much smaller man. Jonah Farry forced the spoil. Corvo. It's probably his worst kick of the night, but still might work out okay for the Grange. Eventually turned over, and now it's sent towards the outer side. That's a good grab, tumbling grab. But as we were saying about Wilston Grange, only 3 wins last year in season 2018. They had a lot of injuries. They've got a much fitter squad at the moment, but to get 2 of your first 3, doesn't matter who you play. A very good win last week, but to rack these up early and get some confidence in your side, it's only going to do them the world of good, Adrian.
Yeah, and that's what we were saying before, you know, especially, you know, in this game, confidence is key.
So it goes towards full forward. Corvo forced the spoil. He's probably been their best on ground tonight for mine.
He
sniffed
a goal there. Sniffed a goal there for a minute. Just ran out of space.
With the throwing.
Yeah, look, it is. You know, confidence is such a big thing, especially early in the season. If you can get, you know, a few early wins, you know, a 1-point win compared to a 1-point loss, it's a massive, massive difference.
So back of the game, there's a whistle. It's a free kick. It's going the way of the Gorillas. No, it's not. It's going. They pointed the way of Wilston Grange early. It's going to be Free kick to Sandagate. It's going to be Harrop. He's going to have a shot from about 30 metres out. He kicked 3 last week. 4 set for Sandagate last game they played, which was in round 2 weeks ago. Only played 1 game for the year. So Harrop will come in, send it on its way. It's a good kick. He's kicked what we believe is his 2nd goal. And if they can get a run on, you never know. Still within that 5.5 goal margin. We're about to tick into time of this 3rd term.
There's plenty of time to go. You know, there's still a good, 25 minutes of playing time left in this game. There's no reason why they can't kick, another 5, 6, 7 goals.
There certainly isn't. Sandagate, what we have known of them over the last few years is, they haven't got too many wins, but they have been streaky. They can go through patches where they do get quite a bit of the football. They can string some goals together. They're known to cause the upset as well. Of course, I did tip them tonight, partly in hope more than anything else. Unless something changes. Doesn't look like it quite meant to be. Winning the tap down was Bradford. It's another centre clearance here for Sandagate towards half forward, trying to get there's O'Halloran. He's been tackled straight away. And once again, Wilston Grange, they just have all the answers at the moment, really. They have really since halfway through that opening term. It's on half-back, fed further back. They're just messing around with it. That's a good mark. It's like from Reed. Now he'll send it inboard. Not the greatest of kicks.
Yeah. They're getting a little bit too cute with those short kicks, Wilston Grange.
They might be getting a little bit too cute, but their pressure's still outstanding. It'll be a ball up just forward to centre for the Hawks.
I was just before the kick, I was about to give them a rap and saying they look a lot more composed to Sandagate, but just every now and then they put in these little kicks. They're just these dinky little stabs that really don't amount to anything.
Well, that kick was not a stab, that was out on the full. So it'll be a free kick going the Hawks' way. Now, this is the first time we've seen the Hawks this year. This is the first time that the QAFL has been really exposed on a live stream this year to the Hawks. They do also have a game next week against the Magpies, which will be live on the QAFL Facebook page. As it goes forward. I'll get to my question in a minute. There, Adrian Harding gets it away. Finds Hutchinson, will send it towards half forward, and just like a lot of the disposal tonight, it's been turned over, and Lipscomb's taken it. Lipscomb, well, a bit overcooked on the kick. It'll be a stoppage. But the question I have for you, what do you think of their prospects this year, based off of tonight's performance, based off of round 1, and based off what we've sort of seen in the first few weeks of this QAFL competition in 2019?
Well, I mean, look, if you're going to go week to week, you look at the game last week, Wilston and Western Magpies. Sandagate are actually travelling a little bit better than the Western Magpies were last week. So, look, they may not, they may come out of tonight's game with a loss, but they can sort of look back on that game. And there's probably a lot of areas that they can look at the Western Magpies and think, all right, we can do them here. So I think as a young team, and they haven't been successful recently, they've got to take as many positives as possible.
Well, this could help them in their prospects tonight. Jordan Maynard will send it on its way. It's spoiled through for one behind. Almost made the distance. But I haven't minded the way they've set up this evening. I feel like scoring might be a little bit of an issue. They haven't really had that connection forward of centre as of yet. Gore will send it in. Spoil over the back from Eaton. Now it's just pumped right back into the 50 from Crawley. No mark taken for either team. Bounces off hands. Just really rifling around like a pinball at the moment. Trying to lay the tackle there. Was smart. And that will be holding the ball. So a forward entry ultimately goes to nothing.
It does come back to the knee fall as well. It does come back to the wants and needs of Aspley. And unfortunately, they sort of get the pickings of the Sandagate players, also Wilston, but you seem to notice it a lot more. Sandagate just do get picked apart by Aspley, so that's something they've got to deal with, through the season as well.
Sent up the line. Worked out okay. Now Corvo is trying to sort of direct the switch to half back. Instead, it goes up the line to a huge pack of players. No mark taken either team, but it looks like Wilston Grange might get out of there until that tackle.
No.
It's actually advantage, and it's going away, and it's going forward. No mark taken there from Coulter. Sandagate have done well to scramble.
Desperate defence there from Sandagate. They actually did really well there in the end.
I haven't minded how they've defended this evening. Of course, Wilston Grange in the last half an hour have been quite inaccurate. But
unlucky, bad luck.
Nonetheless, they've done well to keep it within reach. It's a low-scoring affair, of course.
At least they're still showing a bit of a ticker.
So it is at half forward, about 50 metres out, late stages of this third term. Sandagate can try and get one or two before three-quarter time. Might change the complexion of things. Cashin Harris for the Hawks. He was looming thereabouts, but didn't quite get onto the football.
Umpire's going to ball it up.
It's happened quite a few times tonight for him. He's a bit of a live wire. Of course, he is only 17, so it's big expectations come out onto this stage. Eaton wins the tap, then gets his own ball. Smothered straight off the boot. It's going to be sent out towards the wing. O'Halloran, he forced it away, and now Sandagate will come down the line. But again, going forward, it's not the greatest of disposal. Payno tried to affect the contest.
Just the numbers back there for Wilston Grange.
It's been the big story this evening. Their defensive structures have been quite sound. I mean, even in their loss to round one to the Surfers Paradise Demons, they kept them to 86 points, which is around the mark you want to be defensively. They haven't scored too much at this stage this year. They haven't put on a big score, but that remains to be seen. As on the wing, huge pack of players will swarm this one. It's fed away from O'Brien. That's just a pumping boot from Reid. No mark taken, it comes off hands. Wilston Grange have the numbers if they can keep it in play. Their ball's been slowed down a bit though. And momentum moving forward as it's out of play once again.
I've got to say, look, as a small player, especially as a small forward, when you see a pack form, I don't understand. You see small forwards sort of loping around sort of 15 metres away. When I was playing as a small forward, you see a big pack form, you run your backside off to get to that front and centre.
That could have been a free kick for a throw off the ball of an opponent, but umpire deemed that good body strength. Gore was pushed out of it. Now they've got a number 4. That's a soccer off the ground. There's the big lumbering tall man there in O'Halloran. Not O'Halloran, sorry, it was Payno. It sort of looks similar. He couldn't get there. Set forward, and now Wilston Grange, they'll just be doing the same sort of thing as they've done all night. That's a good kick into the 50. And that should be 50, and that will be 50.
Oh, that is just...
On the siren too.
Oh, wow.
And that hurts. And Milford, he'll kick another one. Unless he's got gum on his boot. The old
is that...
junior sledge used to go. But that's a massive momentum sapper, really. That's a goal. And on three-quarter time, that massively hurts. 37 points the margin, 9-13-67 to 4-6-30.
Well,
Adrian O'Reilly.
They did it at half-time. Was it half-time or quarter-time? They kicked a goal right on the quarter-time. Kicked a goal right on the quarter-time siren. They've done it three-quarter time. You know, they're the goals that kill you. It's a matter of seconds. You could have stopped that goal from happening, and unfortunately you didn't. It's 6 extra points to the opposition, and it's not the 6 extra points that kills you. It's just I don't know about you, but having to watch the opposition kick any goal, let alone one right before the siren, is just a confidence burster.
So we've got 1 quarter to go, Anzac Eve, and it looks like unless something dramatically changes, the Gorillas will be going to a positive win ledger with a 2-1 record. They're heading for win number 2, you would think. We'll be back in about 5 minutes' time for the final term. Anzac Eve clash between the Wilston Grange Gorillas and the Sandagate Hawks. About to start the final term here. Anzac Eve football in the surrounds of Brisbane Hickey Park. And it looks like the home side, the Wilston Grange Gorillas, will be having win number 2 for season 2019. 9-14-68. The score was corrected at 3/4 time to 4-6-30. 38-point margin, and unless something dramatic happens in this final term, it'll be win number 2, as I just mentioned, for the Gorillas. Riley Star 8, Adrian O'Reilly with you for the coverage of this one. What has been a grand occasion, magnificent crowd here this evening, and the home side, they'd be pretty happy to probably just get this one done, get the win after a 5-day break, and then have a well-deserved rest.
Yeah, look, I think they'll be really happy. You know, 2 wins in 5 days or 2 wins in 6 days. You can't complain with that. Look, they've been good tonight. Sandagate, look, they're probably not going to come away with the W. They've shown flashes of really good play. They've been gutsy. They've put their head over the footy. But I want to see them execute a game plan. You know, they've got a game plan. They've done a pre-season. They've got something in mind. I'd like to see them execute something in this last quarter.
So the start of the final term, Bradford wins the tap down for the Hawks. He's been gamely tonight. It's been an interesting ruck battle between him and Reid. Of course, this time, the last game for the Gorillas, Reid was on the pine. What we thought might have been an injury for a couple of weeks, but he's played tonight. He's played pretty well. Mason picks up the ball. Queen, set of hands. The kick towards half forward.
Good kick.
He's all right. There it goes over the back. Dixon got the kick. It goes through for
Just touched on the line.
one behind. I tell you what, that was quite a boot. That ball really just carried in the end.
Yeah, Reid copped that nasty knee in the head last week, so he's done well to get back up for this game.
O'Halloran. Send it up the line. No mark taken from Bradford to Thompson. Thompson will send it forward. That's just going to be a bouncing ball. Fed back off the hands, McKee. One of the best on ground tonight. Good tackle there from Cash and Harris. Still bouncing around. This Wilston Grange pressure has not let up at all. There'll be a ball up. They're 55 metres out.
A little bit of byplay there between McKee and Cash and Harris. Look, both players have been good. McKee's been fantastic. I think Cash and Harris has tried really, really hard tonight.
McKee is taking a strong tackle. Really enjoyed his game tonight. Working himself into some pretty good form.
Yeah, I'm just not looking forward to seeing what sort of dirty hat he wears tonight. He had an absolute filthy hat on last week, so go to the clubhouse tonight and see what he's got to offer.
So down the line, 1-on-2 contest. O'Halloran couldn't take it. Harrop will try to get there first. Got a quick set of heels, Lachlan Harrop, but couldn't quite get there in time. So, as you were saying, you did chat to a few of the Wilston boys after their win last week. Did you take anything major away from that conversation, and do you think they'll be pretty happy with their performance tonight as a team, or do you think they've got a lot more to improve on?
No, look, I think they were happy last week, but I think they've got their head down and their bum up. You know, they know that it's early in the season. There's a long season to go. There's a lot of business to take care of. So, you know, as much as they were happy with the win last week, I think it'll be the same tonight. As much as they're happy with the win, they know there's things they've got to work on, and they know that, you know, they can't rest on their laurels. They've already got to look through to next week.
Gore feeds a hand pass wide, tries to find a teammate there in Smart. It's still bouncing around. Now going forward, this is better from Sandagate until the shot. And Hagan
They've let
missed
themselves
to the left side.
let
Both
themselves
sides
down.
have let themselves down.
Yeah,
Accuracy you were
yeah.
about to mention, but accuracy for both sides tonight has not been at their finest. It's back to 38 points.
And not the most difficult shots on goal either. A lot of, you know, simple shots at goal 25, 30 metres out have just been sprayed.
So back at the game. It's a rather big kick out there towards half back. A lot of numbers surrounding this one. Goes out of play. Who's been your best tonight for the Gorillas, Adrian?
Oh, well, look, I think that, look, Mitch McKee has been fantastic down forward. Gribble's been good again. I think Ryan Thompson has actually had a really, really good night. Leong has been in and out, same as, who am I looking for? I talked about Garnis. I talked about Garnis last week. Fraser Eaton's also been good as well tonight.
Well, that was an interesting option, but it worked out okay. Eventually turned over. Batchelor Fed it back off the hands. Hand pass from Maynard. Now sent towards half forward off the kick. Sandagate have the numbers at the bottom of the contest. They've tried very hard tonight. Just haven't got the results. Hagan fed it forward off the kick. Now it's sent towards the middle of the ground, and they made that kick look okay to at least force the contest, but really should not have happened at all. Probably was the wrong option in the end, and eventually, like so many times this evening, Lachlan Gore will get the clearing kick. It was only gone less than 15 metres. His hand pass out of play by a teammate.
Actually, the other one I will say is Nelly, so I know you've been a big rap on him tonight.
Yeah, he's a very good player, and I think he's a very likely type. Not just at this level, but potentially higher levels moving forward. A pretty good game last week as well. And I think as it goes forward from Cash, now big fly and spoil. It's probably one of the better highlights we've had for a couple of quarters.
That's got to go in a spoil of the year, doesn't it?
Golden fist, I think Spud call it. It's out of play. But as I was saying, I think Wilston Grange, they'd probably be pretty happy just to get the win tonight and make sure there's no major injuries. And then they got a 9-day rest before they, 10-day rest before they have to go again.
Again, yeah, 5-day break. Look, I'm pretty sure there'd be a few tired bodies out there around this time of the game. So they'll just be happy to wind this one down and walk away with the W.
So it's about 65 metres out from Sandgate's attacking goal. They are going to the left of screen. This game has sort of descended a little bit into a stalemate at the moment. A lot of stoppages. As there has been a constant theme throughout this evening. A lot of stoppages, a lot of contested ball. Being very willing in there. Both sides have put quite an emphasis on defensive structure.
Yeah, it's been a funny one. Look, there's been stages tonight where there has been stoppage after stoppage constantly. But then once the ball's got out, it's really pinballed around really quickly.
Speaking of that pinball, now it's going to come forward quickly. That's clear towards half forward. That's a good kick. A good mark taken. It's about 65 metres out. There's not that many options inside, so Lipscomb will have to send it on. That's a searching kick. Tompkinson couldn't quite take the mark, but he fisted it away. They stepped inside 3. Oh, it was almost a Zlatan Ibrahimovic impersonation there from Isaac Corvo. Wasn't meant to be. Don't see him down that end of the ground too often.
Don't know whether he would have got away with that. Best studs up there.
Kick towards half back. It's come off hands. It goes out of play. So, of course, next match on the Quaffle stream, I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, will be Saturday afternoon, Surfers Paradise up against Labrador. That should be a pretty interesting contest. Surfers Paradise do deserve to go in the hot favourites for that one, Adrian.
Oh, most definitely. Look, Surfers Paradise really had a hot run home last year. Made finals, which they're absolutely wrapped about. And I know it's early in the season, but I think you could really pencil Surfers in for finals. And on early look, I think they're probably the only team at the moment who could really give Palm Beach a run for their money.
I'll hold you to that one. As it goes towards the middle, the ground comes off hands. Hand passed away. Wilston Grange do the numbers. It's sent towards the wing position from Smart. No mark taken there from Farry, but he does well to keep his feet in front of O'Halloran. Got the hand pass away. Mason will pick it up off the turnover. Now we'll hand pass to O'Brien. O'Brien, 65 metres out, will send it towards the square. Comes off hands. Cool to keep it in. No,
run away.
He can't keep it in.
Eyes lit up there for a minute, Coulter.
Feel like he likes a snag or two. As most good forwards do. There's no doubt about that.
No idea what you're talking about, Rez.
So another throw-in. Played almost 10 minutes into this final term. Eaton won the tap down, comes off hands. Leon couldn't quite get it away. It's a snap out of the pack. Let's try to get it away. It was Nellis, but now it comes out. And O'Brien, he doesn't have a bad leg, so he could try to go. Instead he does the disciplined thing, although it's not 15. Mason will send it towards the pocket. That's a good kick. No mark taken. Could have had a ping himself, and now Sandagate will try and repel. What can they do with this? Batchelor, he gave the hand pass off. Cash and Harris will... He's been dumped after it He's got the free kick. Don't think it'll be downfield.
No,
He's going to take it
no, it's
right
gonna
back
come
from where he just disposed
me.
of that ball. He'll send it wide. Now what can Sandagate do? There's not too much movement ahead. They try to hold some form of structure. Now it's hand passed over the top. Wilston Grange, though, like a lot of tonight, they've had all the answers. They've chopped it off. One thing I think that would concern Coach Jared Marsh of Sandagate is just the propensity of skill errors this evening.
Yeah, look, it's... as you said, they're a very young team, but there has been times tonight where they're going so... They do look like a dog chasing a car. They're go, go, go. All of a sudden, they get to where they want to be, and they have no idea what they're doing, and they just crumble.
Certainly think they'll probably, though, based off of tonight's efforts, you know, they're certainly very much an effort team. They'll take it up to a few teams this year. I don't think there's any doubt about that, and I think when they get to the friendliest rounds of Lemke Road, which is the biggest ground in the league, I reckon
By
almost
a mile, yeah. I mean,
ground
look,
probably is a mile when you think about it. But
you can't knock their intensity. Their intensity's been really good tonight. They have not stopped putting their head over the footy. They have not stopped tackling hard. So, you know, they've got no quit in them, which is a really good thing, especially for a young team. Young teams, you know, tend to once someone starts getting the better of them, they drop their heads. They haven't dropped their heads. They've kept trying. So, just linking these little things together, working on these set plays and the game plan they want to play. It's a long season.
now Wilston Grange have the numbers defensively. They could have switched it. Instead, they go back up the line. It's going to be turned over. 55 metres out. There's a kick, and is that gone out of play? No, it hasn't. It's going to be a mark. It's probably deserved as much for their efforts as everything else. I think it might be Dominic Payno as the football.
Yeah, you've got to give him credit. Look, there's been a few times tonight where it looked like this game was just going to get blown out of the water, but
It's out on the full. Sorry to interrupt you there,
no,
Adrian.
no, you're right. I was looking at the scoreboard, checking that I hadn't got too far away from them. But yeah, there's times tonight where it could have been blown out of the water, but they've kept on it. They've kept trying. And again, with a young team, you've got to take as many positives as you can.
So Milford was spoiled. It's out of play. So back at the contest. Rucks will contest. Tompkinson couldn't get the tap that time. He hasn't been anywhere near it in that ruck contest as much. Well done from Hutchinson. Quick turn of heels. Goes towards full forward. Wilston Grange once again have the numbers. I'm loving their defensive structures. It's kept in the field of play. It's a clever kick.
That's clever, yeah.
And Sandagate should be able to have a shot at goal.
Yeah,
It's going to be a tough kick. I believe that might be Harding.
Wilston
Take her
Grange
off the boundary.
Sorry, Rose. Wilston Grange's back six have followed on really well from last week. Really damaging backline and keeping what Western Magpies to 2 goals and Sandagate 4 goals.
So the shot on goal, it's on its way.
Good kick.
That's a good kick. Well, that's one of the goals of the night. Well done. That's much deserved for the effort they've shown. That's goal number 5 for them. Takes their score to 5-7-37, but it's probably going to be too tall a mountain to climb. Wilston Grange 9-16-70, about halfway through this final term. It was a good kick off the boot though, Adrian.
Oh, look, beautiful kick from that pocket. As I said, yeah, probably one of the goals of the night. That is a really tough pocket to kick goals from. You know, he just arced out a little bit. Again, kept the ball low. Not that there's a lot of wind around to talk about, but kept the ball low and just drilled it straight through. Beautiful finish.
Just waiting for players to resume their positions in the 6-6-6.
This is the only problem with the 6-6-6, is this waiting of players to get back into position. I think the umpires have to be more on the front foot and say, you know what, if you're not ready, bang, done.
It's one of the best taps tonight. Bradford found Batchelor.
That's a great kick
That's
too.
probably the best centre clearance all night, and we've taken about 16 minutes into this final term. It'll be another shot at goal for Sandagate. It looks like it's Nellis once again. Have to kick from about 50.
Sandagate might start coming home with a bit of a wet sail here. You don't want to give up the game just yet, Wilston.
You certainly don't. Of course, as we mentioned last week, percentage will prove all important in the quaffle this year.
Just faded.
Especially
Oh, wow. Just faded a lot. I didn't think it went that far.
It's out on the full. That's their second out of the full in this final term. Sent back into the field of play. That's a chiseling sort of a ball. And Gribble's taken it. You send it right across the ground. And down the lines. Good movement. Mason. He's on the wing right in front of the supporters. Still a very healthy crowd in. I look forward to singing the song after this one. Goes over back. There's a free kick. It's going the way of Wilston Grange for a block.
Yeah, Shepherd off the ball.
We're 75 metres out from goal now. A lot of numbers behind this ball. Sandagate have postured well to set up a couple of spare in key positions, so you have to be intelligent to send it in. It's a bomb.
Flat
It's a
kick.
good bomb. That's a brilliant kick. That is a sensational kick to just give it enough air so the Flyers could go.
Yeah, just put it to the right spot and let your forwards read it.
Exactly right. And this will set it to a 39-point lead. As we said, this only helps Wilston to just extend the margin ever more. So, your 35-metre kick. That's a goal. It's another one to the Gorillas. That's a goal to Farry.
They've done that well tonight, Wilson. Every time Sandagate get a goal, barring the first two, obviously, every time for the rest of the game Sandagate have got a goal, they look like they're going to get a little bit of momentum. Wilson have chopped them off straight away and got another goal within the next 2 or 3 minutes.
Goal to Jonah Farry there. I've been impressed with both Jonah Farry and Daniel Farry this evening and their performances. I think it's been a pretty even performance from all Grange players. I don't think it's necessarily been any standouts. No, but it's been very even across the board, and that's what you want in a team that hopefully will try and push towards that top 5.
It's very similar to last
September.
week. Yeah, they've had 22 contributors.
So back in the middle, Bradford wins the tap down. He's been honourable tonight. Kick forward from Harding. It was Braden that time. There's a free kick.
Push in the back.
Farry, well, he thought he was going to get another touch, but be a push in the back.
So Harrop.
And it will be Lachlan Harrop. Good kick on goal. He kicked 2 this evening, I believe, and he'll have another shot at goal. I like his game. He's a very talented youngster, and I've always got a bit of a liking for people who wear the headgear. As he sends it on its way, that's a good kick.
He's a gutsy little man, isn't he?
Tell you what, he's not the biggest, but certainly doesn't lack any awareness, nous or skill around the big sticks. He's kicked another one for Sandagate. They ticked the scoreboard over, so it's back to 33 points. 10-16, 76 to 6-7, 43. Getting close to the time on in this final term, Adrian O'Reilly.
Yeah, no, look, Sandagate, obviously they're not going to come away with the win, but you take this, you know, they're probably ahead on the scoreboard in this last quarter. You know, and again, as I've been saying for the last 2 quarters, with a young team, you take as much out of it as you possibly can. So if they can win this last quarter, take a little bit of confidence into next week. Yeah.
So back in the middle. Wilston Grange, like a lot of tonight, they just seem to have the numbers around. It's sent towards half forward for them. First there, though, was Crawley. Feeds a hand pass wide. It's cleared defensively. But again, like a lot of tonight, it's another skill error. Thompson's taken the mark.
Always got the answer, Wilston Grange.
Thompson sends it towards the middle. He'll find Gribble.
They've been good tonight, those two, Thompson and Gribble.
From afar, they look relatively similar. Thankfully, we're different coloured boots. That's a good kick. Almost found my man, McKee. 3 M's in one phrase, Triple M. Move the ball up about 45 metres out as there's another player down suffering cramp.
I'll try and go and catch up with Mitch McKee again, and I'll see what other words of wisdom he can bestow upon me.
It's a good mark there from Gore. So just forward to centre. He'll send it towards the wing. Lipscomb, who I haven't called his name that many times this evening.
A lot of him tonight.
Now, he doesn't have that much ahead of him, so he's just going to have to send a chiselling
Great
sort of a
kick.
ball. That is a beauty of a kick. That was absolutely outstanding. He found Nellis. Like him as a player.
Clever, clever. Oh,
Well,
spent it before he had it.
Milford spent it before he had it, but still gets it forward anyway. He's going to kick it in between three Hawks. They'll clear it eventually. And that was a
Went the long way
roundabout.
around,
He
yeah.
did go a long way around, but it's worked out okay, and the mark has been taken defensively, and it'll go over the top, and Sandagate have got to the halfback.
They've got some really good leg speed, Sandagate. That's a beautiful kick too. Yeah, just in patches tonight, they've looked really, really good. Trying to go up this member's wing, and it's ball's been forced out of bounds for a throw-in. Yes, it has been. Yeah, look, there's been patches tonight where they've looked really good, really clean. Leg speed, not a problem at all. Just controlling the footy a bit more, I think.
So back at the contest, Wilston Grange win another clearance. They've won them when they've needed to tonight. McKee.
Oh, he's off.
Oh, he's off. Have a shot. Have a shot. Oh, Mitchell. Mitchell.
That could have
That would have sent me on my way.
That could have iced it.
Oh, he's a classy player. 10-17, 77. Pretty inaccurate night for Wilston Grange, but it won't matter. They're going to run out pretty comfortable winners this evening. They're up by 34 points at the moment. That's a torpedo out of defence. Like seeing that later in games, but it's ultimately turned over as another player suffers from cramp for Wilston Grange. This time it's sent forward from Smart. That's a good fist away. Gribble picks it up, steps inside. Hand passes it just. Taglieri, haven't called his name that often, gets it away. Harding went with the hand pass, finds Hutchinson, will send it forward.
Now, where's the support?
And it's going, it's a kick from Nellis off the left boot, not the greatest of kicks. Gore couldn't take it. Wilston have numbers on this broadcast wing. Farry will get there first. He can hand pass over the top to Milford, which he does eventually. And Milford will go towards the pocket, and they'll have another shot at goal. You would think.
Oh.
And Farry, well, I've got a feeling during the next couple of weeks of training, they're going to be working at their shots on goal.
He's obviously seen something in the crowd that he likes. Yeah, some of the disposal tonight, especially on goal, hasn't been very spectacular. That's just going to land inside field play.
Hutchinson, he was bumped as he kicked it. I think that's one thing, probably both sides, but particularly Sandagate will need to take away if they're going to compete. This year, they've really got to improve their skill level. You know, they've had chains of good possession, but especially a path forward, which is broken down a bit, unfortunately, for them. No doubt about their effort and desire. But this sort of level, that's unfortunately not enough to win your games. Tompkinson, that's a beautiful tap. Mitch McKee, well, he let me down on that occasion with a hand pass. Cashin Harris got it away to Harding. Corbo turns it over, being one of the Gorillas' best. Sends it towards half forward. Oh, that's almost a slips catch there.
Great pick up
from Farry. O'Brien, and that's landed in the field of play just, and it'll be over the boundary.
Just while the players are a bit closer to us, what do you think of the jerseys tonight, Raz?
I love the Anzac editions of the Guernseys. Obviously, we did mention at the start of the coverage that these will, limited, I believe, both clubs will be selling some of these after the game, but, you know, they're quite good to look at. I always like these special edition jersey at AFL level, whether it be Indigenous round or the Anzac round. It's always good to see them pay their respects as O'Halloran sends it forward. Well done from Harding. Oh, he's done very well there. He sent it. He spent it right as he got it. He got in between two. It was a perfect kick as well. Now that's been switched across the ground from Fabian. Well, that's a good kick.
It's a clever kick. Yeah, it's good to see some imagination going to some of these jerseys.
Will be another shot at goal for Sandagate. Very late stages of this one. Just looking Jackson Coulter. Overminded his game tonight. He's looking pretty tight as the come in. That's come off the side of the boot. And it always seems this evening it's gone to the right, kicking down to that left end of the ground.
Yeah, it's funny. There's no breeze tonight whatsoever. It's been a still night. When it is breezy here, that's the direction that that wind goes to that pocket. But yeah, it's funny that on a night like tonight, there's no breeze whatsoever. They just keep kicking that way.
Maybe it's a bit of Brian Taylor natural deviation left to right. So you would like to put it. So late stages of this one, Wilston Grange have it all wrapped up. They'll be very happy with this performance to get away with a victory. McKee, he couldn't quite get it away off the pack. It's a free kick for a throw. It's advantage. Well, there wasn't too much really. Mason, he's been chucked down in defence. That's a shot on goal, and that's a goal.
Late
I think
consolation.
that's Dominic Payno who's kicked that one.
He's worked hard tonight, Payno.
He certainly has. They keep the scoreboard certainly respectable. Brings it back to 28 points. 10-17-77 to 7-7-49. Late stages, final term. I don't know about you, and Sandagate, they've certainly tried very hard, but when they go through the review during the week, I don't know if it's going to be a case of what could have been.
Yeah, look, the start they had, they put their cards on their table early and said, we're here to play. And Wilston they snubbed it out very, very quickly. Look, Wilston, they've been good without being spectacular. But, they'll be happy to get away with the win.
So back at the contest, he's holding the ball, so late stages of this one. Hartley gets the kick away towards the wing position. He's sent towards half forward. That's not a bad kick, but it goes out of play. We'll have a throw in.
Yeah.
So just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, Surfers Paradise Labrador will be the broadcasted game on Saturday afternoon. Then next week, 2 live games, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. Sandagate will be on the stream again against the Magpies. That's another shot on goal. That's a goal. Well done. So it brings it back to 22 points the margin. So Sandagate bringing some respectability back to the scoreline. They've been outclassed a lot of tonight, and this game's well into junk time.
Yeah, just took the words out of my mouth there, Raz.
So as I was saying, next, after Saturday, with that game down the Gold Coast, 2 rounds after that, there will be 2 games broadcasted each round. So Sandagate will be taking on the Magpies next Saturday afternoon, live from Lemke Road. And Sunday afternoon, it'll be the Gold Coast Derby. It'll be a beauty as well. Broadbeach taking on Surfers Paradise. And you look further ahead, Mount Gravatt will be taking on Wilston Grange. That'll be an interesting contest here. That will, of course, be at Mount Gravatt.
Yeah, look, we covered the Sandagate Western Magpies game last year at Lemke Road. And Western Magpies obviously coming away very, very healthy winners that night. I think it might be a bit of a different story this year.
I think it might be too. He's back at the contest. Still bouncing around, staying in the field of play. That's a solid tackle. We'll have another stoppage. And the final game of round 6, Morningside take on Sandagate. So Sandagate, they do get a few streams over the next couple of weeks, so we'll get quite a good look at them.
It was one of the biggest upsets last year as well, Sandagate beating Morningside.
It's a free kick. It's going the way of Sandagate. It'd be interesting to see Barry O'Brien's thoughts after this one to see how this game, they had a pretty comfortable margin, almost 40 points, but it's been reduced quite significantly at this stage. And as we said, percentage matters very much. As in the Sandagate forward lines, just bouncing around, rifling between players. Fed out eventually. McKee off that left boot. Kicks it out on the full.
Yeah, as you're saying, Raz, like, especially when we think it's going to be an open fight for the finals.
Oh, that's a big fly. Sorry to cut you off there, mate.
No, you're right.
He goes back towards the wing position. Another big flight. The aerial antics have been left till late. Sandagate have numbers in the middle. Crawley, go forward with the kick. Batchelor, send it over the top. Oh, that's one you've simply got to take. Yep. Cash and Harris will send it forward. Big pack of players over the back. This could be another one, and it is. The Sandagate, they kicked the last few of this one. They bring that margin closer, and I don't think there's enough time, but Wilston Grange might want to be a little bit careful here.
I don't think Barry O'Brien will be real happy with this. Like, that's what I was just saying. You know, the finals race, you know, is going to be tight. Obviously, we're only 3 rounds in, so, but you would think that Wilston are really going to be in with a shot this year. But you know, come towards the end of the year, that, as we saw it last year, from I think it was the last round, from 3rd to 6th. You couldn't pick it until the last round, and then winners, losers, it all changed. So this is where percentage is really, really vital. And if you're going to give away 3 easy goals late in the game, you know, that could cost you a spot in finals.
So back in the middle. Might be getting a little bit precarious here if they're not too careful. Sandagate get another clearance. Probably left their run way too late, but they've done well to keep it in. Touch at least, as we'll have another stoppage in the middle. Tell you what, there's a little bit of belief on the ground that we can get another one. Just never know. Reed wins the tap down. Thompson tried to get it, he couldn't quite. Goes over the back. Batchelor feeds it away. Hutchinson, they'll go forward again. It's kept in. Sandagate, Cash and Harris couldn't take it. We have the answers at the moment, Wilston Grange. Gore just clears it away. They just be wanting the siren at the moment just to stop this one. That's not the greatest of kicks. It's dangerous. There it is. They made it a tiny bit dicey at the end.
The one thing that proved to me is that, okay, yes, Sandagate didn't come away with the win, but you might not want to sleep on them because they got very deadly very quickly.
They certainly did, but ultimately the Gorillas, they've won their 2nd game in 5 days. All the credit to them. Congratulations to their football club coach Barry O'Brien and their players. They have won once again on Anzac Eve. They won the corresponding fixture last year by a similar margin. Adrian, 2 wins in 3 games. Do you think they've got serious finals prospects in season 2019?
Look, I think that definitely going from the game last week against the Western Magpies, yes. Again, 5-day break, it is going to tire them out. First half tonight, they looked absolutely fantastic. They did die down a fair bit, which is expected. But they've earned themselves a good rest now, 9-day break. To come back fresh. But if they keep playing the way they are, especially with their defensive setup is absolutely fantastic. And if they can keep playing the way they are going to give it the top 5 a real shot.
They certainly will. Some of the best players tonight, I reckon, for Wilston Grange. Isaac Corvo was one of them. He was outstanding defensively. You also look at, of course, Mitch McKee. He kicked a couple of absolute pearlers. He was another really good player for them. Dylan Reid, I thought he did pretty well in the ruck against imposing opposition in Luke Bradford. Looking through their team list as well, Henry Leong had his moments. Jack Tompkinson, he had a couple of moments. He'd be pretty happy with Sam Gribble. He was his usual self. Yeah. Ryan Thompson as well. He was pretty industrious as well. As we're looking towards the final scoreboard, it appears it has been a 16-point win to Wilston Grange, 10-17-77 to 9-7-61. So that's where we will leave you. Full-time Anzac Eve. It's been a pleasure bringing this game to you. We will be back on Saturday afternoon football for Surfers Paradise and Labrador. I'm Riley Starry, Adrian O'Reilly. It's been a pleasure once again, mate.
Thank you, Raz.
We will see you on Saturday. Thank you for tuning in. It is the Gorillas who have won this game by 16 points on Wednesday Night Football.